The Church of Mavis Radio Show, Friday nights at 8 p.m., 7 Central, starring Jeffrey Pritchett with his co-hosts Wham and Jay McNicholas, right here on the United Paranormal Radio Network, UPRN 107.7 FM, New Orleans.
Anyway.
Tune in to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
Welcome everyone to News on the Flip Side. I hope everyone's having a great Friday night. I know some of you are out there feeling a little inebriated at the moment, going, "Ooh, Joe sounds really sexy tonight for some reason." Yes, that is the booze talking, people. Yes, even though we are very sexy, I'm just saying that it's probably the booze talking. No, really, I hope everyone is having a great Friday, because I know, I pick on people, but in the United States, everybody's out having dinner, having a good time drinking. Out on the East Coast, it's getting a little late. It's after 10 o'clock over there, so they're probably just hitting the clubs. Is what we do down here in the South.
Yeah, right now at 10 o'clock p.m. on the Eastern Seaboard, particularly in most of the college towns, I'll bet you most of the kids who are off for the week or in weekend are drinking their asses off.
I guarantee it, man.
Right now, they started.
No, they're not. They're studying for the person they should be voting for. Shame on you too. Shame on you.
Not if you went to art school, Joe.
Shame on you.
Not if you went to art school.
Oh man, you're supposed to be taking up for these wannabe Z-Genners now. Come on,
some of those kids are going to some very intellectual schools. I went to an art college, and I mean, I can paint.
Do you know what my college was? The United States Naval Service.
Yeah, that was a good college, I have to say. Welcome everyone out on. It's after midnight. No, well, actually, it is. What is it? About 3 a.m. in England right now. Probably 6 or 7 a.m. in Italy. So I hope everybody's listening. So you're having coffee with Jay and Joe and Sean. Ooh, hey ladies, coffee with Jay and Joe and Sean. I mean, how y'all doing over there? Wee hours in the morning now,
We got Eddie in the room.
Take requests for that.
What's that?
So we don't take those kind of requests. This is a respectable show. Well, some nights,
right.
Some nights not as much as others. The Young Turks. Oh, you got to be shitting me. They suck. Yes, I can say that on this show. I can't say it on any of my other shows, but I can say it on this one. They suck. They're Democrat morons. Yes, they are.
Aren't they flipping over to Trump? I think they're tired of Kamala.
Oh my God! Now if that happens,
no. But Tulsi Gabbard flipped over to the Republican Party at a Trump rally.
Baby, come talk to Dave.
You know why she did that, right? She wanted to be a Republican. Plus, Liz Cheney.
We'll find out later. His points went up 10 in the polls this week.
I think Tulsi did it just because she wants to meet me, but
she would have you for dinner, dude.
Probably. No, Condi would probably have me for dinner. Tulsi, I don't know. I'm pretty intelligent individual, but I don't know. She'd be interesting. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. By the way, if you're waking up, or it's afternoon, or where you are, or happy Saturday for a lot of people that's listening to us tonight. I should say tonight, today, wherever you happen to be. I always want to include everybody, even though this is a news show. It doesn't go out as far as like what UFO Undercover show does, which goes out pretty much everyone on the planet. And some of the other shows I host, like Authors Quell and Science and Beyond, they go out to 100, 150 countries sometimes. So That's interesting. This show is different. This is really an American-based show. Even though we do talk about world politics, and we will be talking about North Koreans in Russia and Israel right now, as we're talking, is blowing the living shit out of Iran. So we will be talking about that as well. Oh yes, and we're going to talk about how. What do they call her? Michaela, what the hell they call her? Whatever they call Miss Harris. We're going to be talking about how would she be dealing with this. What is going to be her plan to save Iran from Israel? What's going to be her plan to stop World War III? Now, all of a sudden, Saudi's been a friend of ours for decades. Now, all of a sudden, they're going to start doing war games with Iran. What the fuck is that about? Joe, you've been smoking Joe, but that's about it. And then wait, it gets even worse. So before we go over there, I want to drop another bomb and we'll stop and talk about all of this. So I'm watching Joe Biden at the White House today. Oh, Mr. Biden, where are you going to? Oh, I'm going out to Arizona for what? Oh, to apologize to the Native Americans. I was like, and then he kind of runs off. I was like, what the just witnessed. So anyway, I'm just stunned by all of this. I'm not even sure what to think about all of this. And we can start anywhere with like in there. Griefist. What a name. No, really, legitimately, Israel is bombing. There's 2 links posted on the site. If you're looking at it from
here's 3 videos breaking. Israel fires retaliatory strikes on military targets in Tehran. NBC Live News Thursday, but that has the same thing on it. Wow.
Hello, Miss Leah.
I was at work, so this is the first I've heard of it.
Hello.
Oh my God, Leah got glasses. You look beautiful.
They're blue light blockers. Oh, thank you.
Well, whatever. You look beautiful with those glasses.
Oh, thank you.
She's Kelsey Gabbard's baby sister, man. What can we say? Whoa, what happened there? Okay, sorry about my screen. Just went blank there for a minute.
Well,
wait, what happened? They threw you out? Okay.
Big Brother's watching, dude.
Now I can't even hear. She's like, what's going on? Y'all hear her like that? Is it just me?
No, she was freezing up.
Don't give me that scary face. I know it's close to Halloween, but damn, I am old. See,
Halloween is in 6 days.
Anyway, we get
6 days
Jeffrey.
for Halloween. And then the real scary stuff happens on the 5th.
So anyway, what? Go ahead, boo.
I just wanted to say hi. I can't stay long because I'm working at my weekend job right now.
Damn, workaholic. Well, make some money. Buy me a Christmas present. Don't forget you love me and you're going to buy me a Christmas present. Anyway.
Look how cute. Look how cute she looks, dude. Seriously.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Girls aren't this big, man. Oh, Lord. You're the big person. But anyway, we got to get back to what we're talking before we catch a bunch of crap. I don't like when they email Michelle and Michelle says, well, what were y'all talking about? I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this, Joe, about did Iran know that this was coming?
I don't think so. I think Israel just decided. Okay. In fairness, they did know something was coming. They did know something was coming. No, because this was a retaliation for. Okay, this is bullshit. But anyway, Israel blew up some shit Hamas had, and killed some leader. So Iran got pissed off and sent 125 missiles to Israel, blew up some shit. I think they shot down about 80% of them. Yeah. And then now Israel is retaliating for the Iran strike. That's what's going on right now. So now are we going to start World War III over this bullshit? If Joe Biden stays in power, I think we might be in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you think? I'm serious about this question. What do you all think? What would Kamala do?
The same thing Biden's doing, nothing.
Have an ice cream and talk with her staff. Well, she'd probably have a bourbon ice cream.
If Trump had won instead of Biden and October 7th had happened, those 5 or 6 Americans would either be dead or out already.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. It pisses me so much off about these. every time I think about it, they holding hostages, it just pisses me off. All right, American hostages
allegedly have
over a year now, right?
Oh.
We're over a year they've had possession of our hostages. We've watched like the guy they were running around. They killed him. They killed him with exhaustion, well, beating him in an exhaustion, and we just stood by like da 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 da. If that would have been any other fucking president, the press would have went ape shit. I mean, the country would have went ape shit, but the country's like, well, it's almost like they're not hearing the right thing. And I guess if you're watching NBC or CNN or CBS, you might not be hearing the right thing.
You're watching opinion, not news.
But everybody else is telling you, hey, look, this hostage is over. We need to go get our people. But yet nobody in this administration, and nobody's had the balls to ask Kamala, well, what are you going to do about our hostage? Why haven't we went and gotten our hostages? I mean,
yeah. Okay. Well, what's the U.S. policy on terrorism?
We don't deal with terrorists. We kill them.
We don't negotiate with terrorists.
That's right. We kill them.
What is Biden and the Democrats that I keep begging for? Let's start the talks for ceasefires. You don't. They're terroristic groups. You don't negotiate terms of a ceasefire with them.
After
they
put that plane in the 70s,
shit out of them. Pardon my French. And then you cleanse the area, and you let nice people take over.
Well, I mean, we legit passed laws after that plane was taken in the 70s. We passed laws. We do not deal with terrorists. We kill them. If we lose our people, we lose them, but we're not dealing with them. And even Jimmy Carter knew that, even though he got some piss poor general and got his helicopters, No, they didn't get shot down, Mark. They fell out of the sky because they got clogged with dust. It was such an embarrassment. Every military on the planet was laughing their happy asses off at us. That's why Trump won with a landslide. Because they were like, look at the United States can't even fly a helicopter. I mean, really, man, we're supposed to be the most badass people on the planet. We got arrested 40 of our people, and our helicopters follow. Not just that, they killed two of the best military teams we have. It was a screw fold everywhere it went. And then, of course, Reagan's running around telling everybody, well, if they're not home when I get here, guess what? We're going to go get them. And, of course, they knew that was true. So, of course, they were here when Reagan got in, even though they said they gave him back because they didn't want to give either president credit. That's what they said. Jimmy, well, if they don't, I don't, if North Korea
all to Reagan, no question.
Well, I agree with you 100%. It belonged to Reagan, 100%. Even though the Democrats try to play it off a different way. And no, Jimmy, I had nothing against Carter. He's a Southern boy from Georgia who'd seen a UFO. He was in two good places with me. He just, he wasn't. It's hard to be a president, of a military part of our country. If you're a business person and you're doing business, and Jimmy Carter was a good business person. He understood finances. He was doing fine with all that. He didn't understand how the military works. He didn't understand how the public would react to things that were military related. And we were touchy back then. We just got out of Vietnam a couple of years earlier. We were touchy. People dying all over the place. We didn't want to get no more shit. And of course, then we got Desert Storm. So, hey, Steven, how you doing? It's one of those things. Know that Sean. Hold on here while I use the mouse. Sean, we call him Sexy Man Sean, by the way. That's Jay. We're not allowed to call him Sexy Man.
Before we go on, real quick, I have to tell you what happened last Friday. I was on that investigation, and so it's like 12:30, and I'm driving down from Conneaut on 79, and I get around the Grove City Outlets. On my father's grave, on the Holy Bible, okay, I'm driving down there. I'm the only one on the road. And all of a sudden, I saw a person walk across 79 like this, right? I thought it was a real person. I slam on my brakes, honk the horn so damn hard. And as it got to my truck, it dissipated in thin air. Just thought I'd tell you that.
It was telling you happy ghost hunting, baby, is what that was about.
Happy Halloween.
That's right. Happy ghost hunting.
Blew me away, man. Gave me the fright of my life.
Man, I was hoping it was a Bigfoot.
That's always good stuff when that kind of stuff happens.
Either way, I mean, Bigfoot, ghost, either way, that's cool.
Oh, no doubt, but it's just like
You know what they say about a guy who seeks something.
But
He's going to find it. He's going to find it. So that's a good thing. You found it.
Bigfoot better hope I don't find him with my 9mm because it's gonna be.
But,
Bigfoot found me, but I haven't seen him since. But
what about, okay, so we go in, Israel is bombing the shit out of Tehran, right? Or Iran. So what's going to go off of that? What's going to come down to that?
oh yeah.
Well, it depends. Okay, so we don't know what targets these are yet. Were these places where
NBC opinion poll or opinion video said military targets, but
yeah, but see, everybody was wanting them to go attack Iran's nuclear facilities where they're building bombs. That's what they wanted them to do. Now, I don't know if that's what Israel chose to do or not, because if they didn't, then Iran may choose to use their first nuclear weapon on Israel. So, and if that happens, you know what's going to happen. The United States is going to wipe Iran from the face of the planet. There will be no more Tehran. By morning, everybody on the planet will go, what the just happened? Because there will be no more major cities left in Iran. So it's not a good thing. This is of course, this is where they said blood up to a horse's bridle. This is where Notre Dame said shit starts. We want to kind of stay away from this area if all possible. It's
well, doesn't Iran know that Israel is like a superpower almost?
Yeah, well, Israel should be able to. In a fair war, Israel is going to kick their ass. There's no doubt about it. But Iran's trying to enlist Saudi Arabia, and we've been arming up Saudi Arabia for more years than I can think.
Saudi Arabia has the same equipment that Israel has,
pretty much, more of it. Except for Israel has nukes and Saudi don't.
Hey, Joe.
Wait, what was that? I missed it.
I said hello to Joe Fox.
Yeah, hey, Joe. You said it threw me off. No, I mean, Iran is badass, but not near as badass as Israel is. And remember, Iran got its ass.
Iran has F-14s, don't they?
No, Iran's got F-4 Phantoms.
Well, that's back in World War II.
Saudi Arabia has F-14s. Saudi Arabia's got F-14. Saudi Arabia's got F-14s, but we didn't give them to Iran.
Well, then Iran has F-15s then, if they don't have the 14s.
No, they didn't give that kind of shit to Iran. They gave them the F-4 Phantoms.
They did at one point. There's one Iranian pilot who saw a UFO.
And then, well, no, they switched over. Something happened, and they started buying Russian munitions. And I think that's one of the reasons we started the war, because we wanted to see. They started getting advanced. They were supposed to be getting advanced Russian munitions, and we wanted to find out what they could do. And of course, we found out with Iraq and Iran that basically they couldn't do shit. Oh, and speaking of that, on just a complete side note, what's the name of the system, the Patriot system we deployed to the Ukraine? Just shredded a couple of SKU-35.
Oh no, we sent THAAD to Israel.
We sent something to the Ukraine because it just shredded some the Russians' most advanced jet fighter. It's in the list of articles.
Yeah, probably, Joe.
They just they're trying to start World War III, Joe. I don't know if everybody's ready for it or not, but they're sure the hell are trying.
Yeah.
What's that, Frank? No, they're trying. Well, North Korea troops in North Korea, so you've got North Korean troops there now.
North Korean troops not only in Ukraine fighting, but in Russia training with Russian troops.
So what's going to happen? So now other countries are going to feel like, well, if North Korea is there, we can deploy troops. See, what I don't understand about Kim Dum-young, yes, and I kid Kim Dum-young, the fact is, well, I mean, he's just leaving his ass open to South Korea. And we've talked about unification. It might not need to be unification.
No, because remember, he blew up the bridge and
so we don't care about that. We got shit that roll right over all that crap. We're not worried about that. It's
but still, we have to do that.
I've watched them CVs, man, laying down road, laying down shit. They're fast.
I've seen the bridge device. Yeah, it takes about 15 minutes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they got a couple of different kinds these days. No, guy, I mean, and he only blew them up to so far inside. Well, no, they'll use dozers and stuff to go in and flatten down everything that he blew up.
Mm-hmm.
backfill and stuff, and then all the trucks are going to be 4-wheel drive or 6-wheel drive or tanks or tracks, so it's not going to really stop them from moving in. And then they'll be using, and guess what? South Koreans they got F-35s.
Oh my God.
Yes, they're not even going to be playing around, man. It's going to be like, what just happened?
Yeah, F-35 can stop in midair, do a 360, and shoot planes all around him.
Yes.
It's going to be no contest.
So freaking Japan. So we done gave F-35s to the Japanese too. So the other day, the Japanese make some makeshift carrier so they can land the F-35s on them. It's like a Harrier carrier. I'm like, these little bitch. They're not playing. They're getting pissed at China. So is the Philippines and Taiwan. I'm like, man, look, y'all need to chill, man. We're in a position where we could see. I wouldn't say a full out World War II.
Joe, how good are you at naval history?
50-50. Depending on what it is.
Who launched the first successful submersible aircraft carriers?
Oh, don't ask me. Not a clue.
Really? Wow, because Pearl Harbor comes to mind.
Yeah.
The Japanese had a submarine. There was two versions. One launched one seaplane. The other launched two seaplanes, or one seaplane and a fighter. But they only sent the single version one to see if the carriers were at Pearl Harbor. However, the pilot was misinformed on the silhouettes, and he said that they were when they weren't. That's why we got lucky there. But it was a submersible aircraft carrier. However, the plane didn't land on the carrier. It was a seaplane, so it had to land traditionally in the water. Then the carrier would recover it, and they would submerge and go away.
Yeah, I seen them on some American ships. I don't know if I've ever seen one on an American submarine, but I've seen them on American ships before, where they just put them on the back. They come in handy. It's so the United States is a little insulated from this because we're on the other side of the planet. If something erupts between the Ukraine, Russia, South Korea, a couple other countries up in there, it's still not our fight.
What do you mean
and
if?
There shouldn't be no nukes used either. Because
There's
Russia has to know it's...
Just the fact that there's those two countries, Ukraine and South Korea, should cause alarm for NATO. NATO should, I would think, step in at this point. And that's going to be the beginning of World War III.
South Korea is a NATO country, isn't it?
Huh?
I said South Korea is a NATO country, isn't it? I'd have to go check to be sure. I mean, it's been a long time.
North Korea isn't.
Yes, what I'm saying now. If South Korea is a NATO country, they can't just go attack North Korea. North Korea has to attack them first.
Well, first of all, they were attacked. Their roads were destroyed. Nobody did anything. And now North Korea is launching troops to Russia and Ukraine. It's not a good sign.
No, it's not a good sign. But it also makes their defenses thin along that line. Whether the road's blown up or not, they can paratroop troops in. They don't have to come in, and they not just troops. They can paratroop tanks in. You've seen a C-130. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah,
all kinds of stuff.
We can launch troops to just like in Normandy. We can invade their beach like we can't even believe.
Yeah, I mean, really, the roads aren't going to really slow us down. They'll slow us down for probably a day or two, but that's about all.
No, but the only reason they took out the road and the railway system was so that they could start launching their attacks with Russia without fear of quick military action from the south.
Well, more than likely, what you're going to see is South Korea is already bolstering its offenses, but so it's going to probably, I mean, its defenses, so it's going to probably start bolstering its offenses as well. The U.S. is going to probably send one of the fleets over there to hang out and decide what they're going to do with it. It's I mean, I think we already got a partial fleet over there now, so it's.
Oh yeah,
they were doing some kind of games.
Definitely, we do.
Yeah, they were doing some kind of war games over there. So I know that there's a fleet over there somewhere. So.
Well, there's several.
I just love that excuse that we're just doing war games.
Well, North Korea started acting like an ass, man. So we sent some people over there.
I'll bet you $5 if we had access to military satellite, real time satellite. I'll bet you all of our naval equipment in the Philippines is way west of the Philippines.
Well, we right now we don't have anything around Taiwan for some reason.
Well, Taiwan's not far from South Korea, so I think we can get there pretty quick.
Yeah, if we need to. Yeah.
It's. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some submarines there.
Oh, we probably got some stuff floating around out there somewhere, and we've got overhead missions flying, so they're keeping an eye on our chip manufacturing going on.
Yeah, they're not going to start anything without us knowing about it before they do it. So,
well, see, and this goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Do you believe that Kamala Harris, the Empress, the Lord of the world, can stand up to this situation?
I
no,
don't think
I
she
think they do the
can,
same
Joe.
thing that Biden's
So,
doing.
do
Nothing.
you think the Saudi
Throw,
prince?
throw money at it. That's all she would do.
And the reason we're in trouble with Saudi right now is because Joe Biden, all about that reporter they got killed, wouldn't drop it, just wouldn't leave it alone. So, they joined Brexit. They dropped using the U.S. dollar. They joined Brax or whatever it was called, all because of Joe Biden.
Yeah.
So this is a crucial ally in the Middle East. Trump gets back in, he'll fix that. So that's not that big of a thing, because
I believe they want him back in, Joe.
yeah, well, we want him back in for sure,
South Arabia.
I think Putin wants him back in too.
But if Saudi hooks up with Iran, and that means some of the other countries might go with Saudi, because Saudi pulls a lot of respect for the Middle East.
A lot of Muslim countries will follow suit. Absolutely.
Yeah. So they're gonna have to work that out. Even though they have a treaty with Israel now, it's a tenuous treaty because of what's going on with Iran. Well, yeah. Saudi also knows that Israel has nukes. So that's one of the deciding factors of the Middle East. Israel has nukes and nobody else does. Iran's supposed to be getting them. They don't know for sure if they have any or not, but for sure Israel has nukes, and a few of them, plenty enough to lay waste to the Middle East. They can easily take out Saudi Arabia. They can easily take out Iran and Iraq.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if Turkey does have nukes, and I'd have to go check and see.
Turkey has nukes, I'm pretty sure.
Hey,
Google, does Turkey have nukes?
According to Wikipedia, under NATO nuclear weapons sharing, the United States has provided nuclear weapons for Belgium, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, and Turkey to deploy and store.
There you go.
Find out more.
That's not the same. That's our nukes. Okay.
They're there.
That's our nukes.
We have wanted to know if they have nukes. They got nukes.
But we have control of them. Yeah, but we have control of them.
Hey, Joe.
That makes me feel a little bit better, actually. What's up,
Sean? My mom wanted me to ask you this question. I'm being serious about it.
Sure,
she sees commercials on TV that the guys, like the generals and stuff that used to work for Trump, are going against him. How come?
Well, that's an easy one. Well, so when he was president, when he was under that Russia investigation, all that shit was on his ass, which we all know is fake now. These generals just weren't doing their job. They just weren't getting what he wanted done. So he fired, I was 12 or 14 of them altogether. Not only did he fire him, being Trump, he belittled them as well, making fun of them and stuff like that, because they just couldn't make down what he was. He still does. He still makes fun of him because Trump had a vision. Somebody said, well, he said he wanted Hitler's generals. No, Trump wanted generals that were like Hitler's, who were fast, efficient, and got things done immediately. Not that they went around killing a bunch of people. The fact that when you told them to do something, they got it done, and they got it done efficiently. That's what he was saying. But in the end, Trump doesn't, he wants, when he tells somebody to do something, he expects it to be done.
Okay.
And general or not, he is the commander in chief of the United States.
Your boss.
And frankly, most of these generals did not like the idea that they were taking orders from a TV star. It just pissed them off. So Trump was like, you know what? Kiss my ass. I am the commander in chief, and guess what? You're fired. I guess he thought he was on. Was that show he was on? Where he said you're fired.
Yeah, but because the latest one that.
It's called The
Apprentice.
Apprentice.
Latest one that's bothering her is, I think his name is Kelly.
Yeah. Kelly was a decorated hero.
Not McCain, Kelly.
No, Kelly. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. He was the one of the
McCain was only a colonel, I think.
Yeah, Kelly was one of the chief advisors.
Yeah,
he had an excellent military record. He really did. When he was serving before he became a politician. See, people forget when you become a general, you're not in the military anymore. You're now a politician. It's not the same thing as when you're dealing with troops.
Depending on the position you have, yeah.
Yeah. Well, depending on that, if we're at war or not.
Yeah.
But Kelly, his job was to implement what the president wanted him to do, and he just couldn't get it done. So he replaced, and the guy he replaced him with got it done. And you don't hear his replacement saying anything about him.
Right.
So, and it's disgruntled employees are disgruntled employees, because the guy who replaced him liked Trump, still does like Trump. It's just, and with Trump, I knew there was going to be a lot of that in his first one, because Trump's kind of brash, and he expects you to act a certain way and be a certain way. So, and when he told these generals, "Hey, this is what I want done," this had nothing to do with him and the United or inside our country. This is stuff that was going on outside of our country. He wanted it done, and one of the things Kelly didn't like is when Trump first came in. Trump said he wanted to draw down in Afghanistan. He wanted to take our troops out of Afghanistan permanently. And he was on his way to draw down. If he got reelected, he would have did the drawdown, and no one would have got killed. Nothing would have got blown up.
Yeah.
None of that would have happened,
There
because
was
he had a
the
perfect
last
plan.
thing taken out, and
Yeah, and he had a plan. He had worked out a deal with the Taliban and everything. So, I mean, of course, Joe Biden went over there and screwed it up. It cost 13 of our people's lives, but 100 something other lives. Plus, we left behind thousands of people
pallets
who
of hard currency.
I'm not even worried about that. I'm worried about the people. People forget these people put their lives on the line helping Americans. We're supposed to take them when we leave, like we didn't do in Vietnam, or we did that again in Afghanistan. We just left them. You know what happened to them? They were killed or raped or pillaged, or all of the above.
Yep.
It's sad, and our country should not be like that. We're a powerful nation, and we should not act like a bunch of morons and just, we gotta run. Bullshit. We're run from what? There's nothing on this planet we gotta run from. Short of an alien freaking invasion, there's nothing.
Yeah, I was going to say, the only thing we should run from are the guys we can't see. They're the ones behind the background.
So, sometimes you just got to call people out on the bullshit. And in Kelly's case, you got to call him out on his bullshit. He did not do his job. He got fired. And I'd have to ask how far into the job he got fired. But I don't even think he was in that long before he got fired. And when Trump fires you, when Trump fires you, he probably does the dance. I can see him there. You know what? Hey man, you know what? Hey Joe, hey Kelly, how you doing? Guess what, Kelly? You're fired. I can see him now, man. Yeah, Jack, he's an insane president. But if you ask me point blank, and I've got to answer honestly, who do I think is the better person for the country at this moment? I'd have to say it's Trump by far. And I'm not saying down the line in 10 years when Kamala's 70 that she might not make a good president. She might. By then, she may have learned how things work and maybe not be so left that she wants to turn us into a communist nation. But right now,
that any police officer can knock on your door and say, I want to do a safety inspection on your firearms, and you can't say anything about it.
First time that happens at a Southern house, cops ain't even going to do it down here because they know what's going to happen. They're going to get shot. They're going to be like, no, we're not going to knock. Are you stupid? We're not going to knock.
The cops down there already know who's better armed than them. They shoot with them at the
right. Range. They're like, no, we're not going knocking. What are we going to do? Bring half the police department with us to go knock on one person's door? No, that's not going to work. But, so people tell me all the time how she says, well, Trump's a fascist. He's a fascist. Well, I have not one time heard Trump.
But yeah, I agree.
I've never heard Trump one time say, "Hey, the First Amendment is a privilege." Really? No, it's a right. It's not a privilege. No, people. So that's Kamala Harris. Joe Biden has said this too, but Kamala Harris has said it many, many more times. The First Amendment's the freedom of speech, the basic freedom of speech, is a privilege. No bullshit. It's a right. The reason they say that is because they want to monitor hate speech. But everybody says the same thing. Without hate speech, there is no free speech. Okay, if you can't allow hate speech, there is no.
The actual real definition of the free speech amendment is that you can say anything that you wish as long as it doesn't incite any others into violence, including yourself. So as long as you say what you want, and nobody goes and acts on your violent words, it's whatever. But you can say what you want. As soon as someone gets hurt after what you said, then you're liable for it.
It's
that simple.
What's that, Jimmy? Free speech is what it is.
Yeah.
You should have the right to say whatever you want. Consequences are not.
We have that, but on the TV you can't say certain words. I mean, they've been lenient.
Well,
on certain,
okay, but no, let's
you can't say
clarify.
certain words.
Let's clarify. On network TV,
You can't say
anything
certain
over,
words.
not just TV, anything that goes over the airwaves. You're
All
restricted to
shows
what
go
you
over
say.
the airways, even
No,
HBO. They're all
but
required to.
not like that. It's a whole different thing now. So anything that is broadcasted over the airwaves, like television is or radio is, you cannot. You have to use certain language. The reason why is this: any kid can pick it up. Anybody with any antennae can pick it up. That's why you're restricted, because children can hear. The reason cable is not restricted, even though it is over the airwaves sometimes, but only when it's being beamed from satellite to satellite. The rest of the time, it's either going through a cable or it's being broadcast in microwave through a dish.
Yeah.
So kids can't really pick it up like that. So they can get away with saying what they want to say
on certain channels. Yeah, like I said, there's some leniency there. But
so it used to be they couldn't have male nudity, front man. That's not even true anymore. Cable is cable.
All I know is that these commercials that she is putting out is really getting on my nerves.
Well, she's putting out a lot of shit.
She's saying a lot of things, and I'm glad you brought that up, because there's a few things that she always says, and Obama said them, Clinton said them, and I question them. The one thing they all three say all the time is they got a lot of work to do. Why do they say that? Because they know they've lost the race. They have a lot of catching up. Well, what really gets my gut is they say that and she says it the most, they say that if he becomes president, he's going to raise taxes, so it's going to be $3,100. When did he say that? He keeps saying the opposite, and it has been saying the opposite for 4.5 years.
He's gonna give a tax cut to the billionaires and raise the taxes on us.
Yeah, they keep saying that.
I'm tired of hearing that.
Since we're talking about that, let's do this real quick and let's do it correctly. So, American citizens out there, and you can check everything I'm about to say here. Okay, everything. The average American making between, say, 50. We'll do 50,000 and under. So you're paying around 7%. Doesn't matter where you are. That's what you're paying, around 7%. If you're making 50,000 to about 250,000, 5 to 15%, depending on how you file. So 15 is the highest, 5 is the lowest. It all depends if you've got children, businesses, things like that. Certain stuff you invested in. Some tax, some capital gain is not taxable, so sometimes you get away with that. But billionaires, the cheapest they can pay is 25%. They can't pay less than that. That's it. No matter what they do or however you want to break it up, their companies are going to pay 25%, even if it's broke up through shell companies or scattered companies or whatever it is. They're still going to pay 25%.
Yeah, they're getting.
You can ask any billionaire that, they'll tell you the same thing. We pay 25%. So when you take in that, what are the 5 richest billionaires hold over? The top billionaires in part of the country hold over $6 trillion, which is, by the way, more money than the entire South has, all the way across to California, by the way. When you think about they're holding that much money, is it fair for them to have all that money? Well, they earned it, worked on it, and they got it. And think how much they just paid in taxes. $6 trillion. You have any idea that means they paid more taxes than most everybody in the South combined? Mm-hmm. That's ridiculous. So they're paying at least half the tax in the United States, and we want to make them pay more. Look, you can't hate on somebody because they were smart enough to become rich. That's what the American dream is. So what are you saying? When you win the lottery, you already got to give up half your money to start off with if you take it in whole.
No, it's 38% you'll pay to the federal government if you win the lottery.
Yeah, but you got to pay state as well. Mm-hmm. See, down here they pay like 36 to the Fed and 12 to the state. It comes out right at almost just below 50%.
I also think that the tax break, the tax break that Trump is talking of, is he's not just going to reduce our taxes. He's going to stop income tax, but he's going to implement like a 7 or 8% consumption tax for everybody. So when you go to the store and buy a pack of cigarettes, it's your state sale tax. In Pennsylvania, it's 6 cents, and then there'll be an 8 cents tax for the government. That's 14 cents. You'll pay on that whatever you buy for $1.
I don't know if the country's going to go, but that's pretty high. 14 cents, pretty high.
But guess what? How much more money are you going to have in your pocket if no income tax comes out of it? Think about it.
But you see, some people aren't going to agree with that because
if I got my gross pay every week, I would be happy. I would be able to.
But if you had 3 children and a small business, you'd be getting like $40,000 or $50,000 back in taxes. So you'd be happy. You'd rather have that instead. It's all in the way you do your taxes, how it comes out.
It's probably gone up. The last time I knew it was like 38%. But yeah, that's you pay a lot on the lottery, Joe. Absolutely.
No, you do. You pay a lot. Yeah, it's
through the nose. But the same things they go.
Money.
Listen to this. This kills me too. The lottery in Maryland, the Maryland lottery, goes to pay. Or it used to go to pay for the Redskins stadium. Now it's the Commanders. But whatever. However, the profits from all of the sales for the lottery are to fix the stadium up and keep it going and what have you. And guess what? You still pay $14 for a hot dog. I don't understand that at all.
Okay, wait, we're gonna play this.
That's what you call price gouging.
So if y'all ever get bored and this goes to everybody listening, on my personal page where I'm wearing the suit or I'm wearing the vest and all, I post nonstop links there, sometimes 10, 15, 20 a day of what's going on, all these different things that are being said around the country and stuff like that. Some of them are short, some of them a little bit longer, but let's. So we're going to go through a couple of these right quick. Get Sean dancing naked in the streets and stuff.
Oh, yeah. That'll bring the ladies in.
Okay, let's see. Is this it? Let's make sure it's in the right place. Hey, man, you sound like Lurch right there, man. Don't be scaring me like that.
He rang, brother.
There are 10 things that black students don't need. Number 1, we don't need affirmative action.
Ooh, yeah.
Number 2, we don't need equity. Number 3, we don't need to be pandered to. Number 4, we don't need you to dumb down test scores in order for us to thrive. Number 5, we don't need a school system promoting victim mentality. Number 6, we don't need the soft bigotry of low expectations as we have heard from other people. We don't need, number 7, critical race theory or intersectionality. Number 8, we don't need reparations or any more welfare states. Number 9, we don't need to be propped up as the darlings of the LGBTQ community. Number 10, we don't need white liberals telling us that they know what's best for us.
You tell it, baby. You tell it. You tell them. So,
yeah.
There's a lot of this stuff. So a lot of my black friends have been sending me black people talking about Obama. We got lots of it. And I mean, it just goes on and on. So at first it was just black guys he was sending me. All of a sudden there's a lot of women out there hating nonstop too. It's and so many of them are so pissed at Obama for sticking his nose in. They're like, well, what are you doing? This isn't your business, buddy. You just don't come, because they act like, oh man, well, you got to listen to me. I'm Obama. Oh, before we go to the next one, let's see. Reports find GEN college grads are misjudging their starting salary by $30,000.
Wow.
So GENers say they should start at $85,000 to $90,000 a year, and the marketplace says you start at $55,000 to $56,000 a year. They're all saying they wouldn't work for less than $72,000 a year. Geez, y'all going to starve, man. Nobody's going to give y'all a job for that kind of money. You rookies with no skills. College is great, but without any practical skills, it's still college. Oh, yes. That's why sometimes people take the other road where they go through the other road where they don't go to school. They just go to work and get hands-on experience. Yeah, well, sometimes it works better. It just depends. Don't be a hater. Don't be a hater. Be a masturbator.
No, song.
Oh my God! Right,
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to forgive you guys. I'm sorry that the best good-looking man on The internet.
Hey, look, I tell people all the time, don't be a hater, man. I mean, come on.
I'm not talking about that hater. I'm talking about the other word that you said.
Okay.
I have to wash my ears out with Clorox bleach now.
It'll be okay. It'll go away in a few minutes. Here, we'll play this. Is this the one I'm looking for? Hold on. Yeah, we'll play this little 12-second clip. Hold on a second. What's up, Brady? No, we got tons of these. They're all over my page. That's it. Yes, this will help. This will help.
Trump 2024. Trump 2024. Trump 2024.
There you go, baby. Trump 24. What do you mean Trump paying me for advertising? If he was paying me for advertising, I'd play that.
Trump 2024. Trump 2024. Trump 2024.
Well, that should help your ears a little bit anyway. Trump
That
2024.
sounds promising.
Do you see how that grass was cut? You could play checkers on it.
Yeah.
What is this? Obama DHS security shocks Fox. By what? Oh, they think Kamala Harris is an idiot. Well, we already knew that. How long is this clip? Probably too long for us. Oh, yeah, it's too long. 12 minutes. Ooh, nice legs, lady. It's well, Fox for some reason likes women with legs. I don't know what the hell that's about. I guess they think it's good for ratings or something. No, really, they're kind of strange about it. I mean, when you see most of their hosts, it's rare you see their legs under a table anywhere. Don't ask me. I'm not the producer over there. I mean, it's probably a good idea, but it's kind of Michelle with the loudest.
It's definitely a ratings increaser. I'll guarantee you that.
Michelle be firing hosts over that shit. She'd be like, "You fired, bitch. Cover them things up." Let's see. Present. Yeah, let's put this one on. Let's see what this one's got to say. Whoa, scary guy. What's that?
I like this. I think this was good, dude.
This is, let's see. Whoops, there it is. Sorry, guys.
She was completely incompetent. And frankly, not only do we feel disrespected, but I'm uncomfortable with Obama standing in front of us trying to scold us and then divert our attention away from the things that's really meaningful, especially for our families. I'm not comfortable with him. I don't want to hear any more messages of hope. I don't want to hear any more messages of joy. I can feel it with my pocketbooks. My friends can feel it with their pocketbooks. And we're ready for him to get out of our way.
One more time. We'll play it one more time for you guys before we bring it down.
It showed that she was completely incompetent. And frankly, not only do we feel disrespected, but I'm uncomfortable with Obama standing in front of us trying to scold us and then divert our attention away from the things that's really meaningful, especially for our families. I'm not comfortable with him. I don't want to hear any more messages of hope. I don't want to hear any more messages of joy. I can feel it with my pocketbooks. My friends can feel it with their pocketbooks. And we're ready for him to get out of our way.
Wow.
I love it.
There's more and more of these. Then there's Candace on there losing her mind. She's insane, attacking Kamala's mom all over the place, proving that the woman in the book was just some woman they paid to have the picture of that her grandma was Irish. So now it's taking away her thing. And I noticed she hasn't been saying I'm a black woman as much either.
Nope.
Second bus carrying undocumented immigrants to Texas governor. Ooh, to Texas governor. Abbott says, "I love you." But where are they sending him? New York. So I love you, New York.
Is he going with him on this trip also?
Nah, he said he's going to stay home and get a little, lunch. Okay, opinion. Do voters really want another 4 years of Biden-Harris policies? The verdict is hell no. I can't even say what the real verdict is because I curse, but we shouldn't curse that much. So this is one. We're going to play this. Because this is just shows you how she just lies about stuff that she doesn't really have to lie about. But we're going to play this in just a second. Now, she said that she cut the flow of immigrants and fentanyl by half in the United States. So we got
only this last half of her job. The first 3.5 years, she didn't do crap about it.
So, but we've got the experts talking about this. Let's see what they have to say.
Vice President Kamala Harris was asked on 60 Minutes about her record on immigration and border security while in office, and whether the Biden-Harris administration should have done more to secure the border.
Well, it looks a little
She responded,
crooked.
We have cut the flow of illegal immigration by half.
Should you
We
have
have
done
cut
that?
the
Should you
flow
have
of
done that?
fentanyl by half.
But is that true? Let's verify. Our sources are U.S. Customs and Border Protection, the Drug Enforcement Administration, NYU Public Health Associate Professor Joseph Palomar, and Carnegie Mellon University professor and drug policy researcher Jonathan Calkins. Data from Customs and Border Protection shows from fiscal years 2021 to 2023, the amount of fentanyl seized at the border more than doubled. But all of our sources say that doesn't mean the flow was cut in half, because there's no way to know how much fentanyl crosses undetected. Palomar told Verify Harris's claim does not appear to be based on data at all, because the data doesn't exist. Calkins and said if agents are seizing more fentanyl, that generally means more of it is coming in, not less. And a 2023 DEA report on drugs noted no DEA office reported that fentanyl is less available or more expensive, either of which would point to a decrease in the supply. A Harris campaign spokesperson told us the vice president was referring to the doubling of drug seizures, not the overall flow of drugs, and pointed us back to the data from Customs and Border Protection. So Harris's claim that the flow of fentanyl has been cut in half is false. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
I'm sorry. So this, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to play this one or not. Let's see. We're not playing Tim Waltz. I don't even like him on my computer.
Oh, God, no. Please don't.
Something might break.
I have to go to bed at midnight, so I don't want to dream of him. No, don't do that.
I don't blame you.
You ain't hearing much about him anyway on the news anymore.
Yeah, because his friends are school shooters. That's why. I mean, come on. I mean, there's so much crap. Oh wait, we got.
What is it you don't want to play? Let's see it already.
No, I don't scroll past. There are literally hundreds of links on this page. This, if it'll let me play it, is Bill Maher. Come on, where's the audio?
Oh.
Oh, Fox, what did you do? You took the audio off? You cock people. Cock people, yes. Bill Maher says Kamala Harris must convince voters she's not the worst excuse in the world. It's well, let's see what this guy's got to say. And then we'll go back to chat. It's just a video, I think it is. I don't know, but we're gonna find out in just a second. This one's 56 seconds long, ladies and gents. We're gonna pull this up in just a second. Dun, 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 dun. And we got some other stuff we got to talk about on the other side, flip side. That's why we call this news on the flip side. But here you go.
George Floyd is the Democratic Party's prototypical black man. These are the black men they are trying to create. So George Floyd has to be elevated. He has to be celebrated. He's perfect to them. He was poor. He was uneducated. He was a drug addict. He didn't have a job. To a white Democrat, this is the perfect black man. Because this is how they see black America. They see us the same way they see George Floyd. And they have to make more of us. You know, John F. Kennedy stood in front of the Berlin Wall in the 60s and said, if you think that communism is great, let them come to Berlin. Well, if you think that the Democratic Party is great, let them come to Detroit. Let them come to Chicago. Let them come to St. Louis. Let them come to LA, Portland, Seattle, Memphis. Anywhere where they rule, you'll see George Floyd's all over the place. And they're proud of them. In Baltimore, Maryland, they spend $21,000 per child. Not one school is proficient in math, science, or reading. But they keep it going every year. Why? Because they're producing George Floyd.
Why would you want more people like that?
Because he votes for the Democrat Party. And then he teaches his children to vote for the Democrat Party.
Ooh, Jackson Brown. It's
Wow. Yeah, I mean, how many more of those?
Yes. Well, we got to play this one right quick. This is Kamala Harris talking about the Z generation.
Oh, God.
Okay, y'all want to hear this, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, I've seen somebody already. Well, somebody actually requested this.
Yeah, play it.
So we're gonna go ahead and play this for you guys and girls. Yes, hold on. Let Daddy-O click on play. This is a little
And I
retarded.
know this is a controversial topic for many of us. I love Gen Z. Because we have Gen Zs in our lives. We have kids who are Gen Zs. It can be complicated, I know. I love Gen Z. And it's a specific phase of life. Remember, age is more than a chronological fact. What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid.
Stupid.
That is why we put them in dormitories and they have a resident assistant. They make really bad decisions.
Okay.
She signed her death warrant. And you know what? If you watch that video, there weren't too many people laughing on that.
Oh, no, they weren't. So, one of the things I've seen today was a lot of people agree. They say that the death wish, she signed her death for her campaign on The View when Hooter, whatever her name is, asked her, would you change anything? And she said, I can't think of anything. They said that was probably the end of her campaign right there. They were pretty much done with it. All right, let's see. Let's hear some Chicagoans talk. Since we have Chicago people listen to the network, we will let y'all hear this. I don't know if you're going to like it or not because I'm not sure what the hell it is. So we're going to find out, though. No, well, I mean, literally, when I tell you we have tons of these links, we have tons of these. And I try to keep them short, so just because I try to keep them short, really. It makes our life easier. Okay, let's see what this is. 55 seconds.
Fruity Democrats ever since these scumbags came across the board. They are taking from all of these programs that we have, and they're taking the money and they're funding the migrants. Under-resourced, underfunded for years. We have no more room. Y'all are embarrassing Chicago as a whole. And it's not our responsibility. No one's giving me free food. No one's giving me free housing. They're welcome if they come legally. They're not welcome if they're illegal. We need God to fix this because we can't fix this. We don't know who these people are. Come down here and see this neighborhood and what's here and how the children are so close to it. We're not going to stand for it. I'm very sorry. We're not going to do it.
I'm frustrated because we should have never gotten to that point in that situation. And that is wrong.
And the quicker the politicians realize that it's an invasion, the quicker they'll close the border.
Well, I got to say, all of those people now sound like Trump supporters.
Yep.
Probably so, yeah. Or anyone who supports rebuilding the wall, finishing it up.
This might have been what I was talking about earlier. Let me see. It's too long. We're not going to play it. It's 3 minutes. Was it Jack? No, we're not playing that long. Let's see. This is this Chinese lady. Let's listen to this Chinese lady. Hold on. She was kind of strange. Let me pull this up right quick. This is out of New York. Now, remember, we're talking about New York. The last clip you've seen, half those people talking were from New York. So New Yorkers are not pleased with this immigrant situation, and they're not pleased with the Democrats. So I'm not exactly sure that the Democrats are going to pull quite as many votes as they think they're going to in New York. But I guess the only way we're going to find out is on election night, which we're going to all be going. And if they start pulling more votes,
they're not legal. If they were legal, they need to pay taxes.
What do you think is going to happen with the migrant crisis here in New York City?
It's getting bad because they're also next to my house and they piss on my door. I could tell that they're gang lords. I mean, they're tattooed up to head to toe. The people pissing on my door, they're tattooed up head to toe. And they're not, there's no law against illegal migrants committing crimes. So again, it's lawlessness, non-payment of taxes, siphoning all our money to their native countries. Right. And it's just killing our economy. Eric Adams just said he's going to give 4,000 migrants jobs. That means 4,000 civilians have less jobs. It's just not fair to Americans. It's getting scary. Right now, people in the Bronx are getting attacked. People Upper East Side, 2 of them just got attacked. And it's illegal to buy mace. It's illegal to protect yourself.
Buy mace? What kind of state are they living in?
No, it's New York City. I don't know about the upper state, but New York City, you're not allowed to purchase mace, and it's almost impossible to get a handgun. Maryland's another state that's difficult to get a handgun as well. So there's some harsh laws out there still.
Let's give Candace one little blast. I don't know what she's talking about. Yeah, you'll love this one. Hold on. Just after this. Yeah, she's great. Y'all love this one. Let's see. What did I do with the other one. There it is. This is Candace Owen, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we're going to give her credit for her hard work here. So this might be a couple minutes long, I think. Or a minute or some shit. But hold on a second while I find the go button.
I said no. Someone texted me. They said, Candace, she rolled out new accent. I said, no, she did not. No, she didn't. I don't believe these people. I said, shut up right now. Shut up your face right now. And they didn't. They presented evidence. She rolled out a new evidence that she rolled out a new accent. She met up with Stephen Colbert, and out of nowhere, she decided to be Jamaican. Take a listen.
Have you no empathy, man?
Oh my God!
The suffering.
Oh my God!
Of people. Have you no sense of purpose?
Okay. Have you no empathy, man? You know, I just, like, what is happening here? Tell me she is not the Manchurian candidate. I don't even know what triggered her there. I don't even know what word he said that triggered her and made her go into, like, the Jamaican personality as if, yes, it is a fact. Her dad has a Jamaican accent, and it is a real Jamaican accent. You do not inherit that accent. Like I said, my grandmother spoke in a very thick Caribbean accent. I just spent my life correcting her. Like, we were like little tots. No, grandma, no, it's not throw, it's away, it's throw. Say the H. My dad does not have a Caribbean accent because he did not grow up on the island. You can't just drop a Caribbean accent. Least of all, after you just premiered a Spanish accent. Roll the clip.
I love you back.
I love you back. And then the other Spanish accent. Roll the clip.
Well, first of all, thank you for
I don't
the
think that was a
question.
Spanish
I hope your
accent. I think that was a
family is
drunk
okay
accent.
and your home is okay.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is why the Spanish people are telling me that they call her Kamala. Okay, this is I think what's happening. What is, you can't just be Latina after being Jamaican, after being black. There's a black scent. Let's hear the black scent.
Everywhere I go, I tell people, look, you may not be a union member. You better thank a union member. For the 5-day work week, you better thank a union member.
You better
for
thank
sick
them.
leave. You better thank a union member
Yeah,
for
she's
paid
preaching.
leave. You better thank a union
I've seen
member
that
for
one.
vacation
I
time.
have to agree with you there, Joe Fox.
You better thank. I don't know how to say better anymore. You better thank. Okay, you better thank a union worker. When you see a union worker, you better thank.
I love her. I
Better
love
thank
her.
about all my
She's
other
great,
accents
isn't
too,
she?
man. Come on, man. What's going on, man? Okay, I'll be like, throw it away. When do we get to legally diagnose her with like multiple personality disorder? Like, when does that come? Media loves a good diagnosis. I want to diagnose Kamala Harris. And let me be clear, whoever did this meme, you won this year. Take a look.
Spanish, Haitian, Indian, Jamaican, black, white, Cuban, and Asian.
It says Kamala Harris filling out a job application. Like, that person wins the internet. Absolutely amazing.
So y'all seen that? This, all those clips are real. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. And there's worse clips than that. There's ones where her accents are far deeper than what you heard. There. Well, not the first time I heard the Jamaican one. Oh, we got a bunch.
Well, the accent that seems to come up the most is the drunk accent.
I know. It's
So yeah, again, I'm not sure on that Spanish one. She could have just been split out of her mind. You never know.
You do never know with Kamala. That's the truth.
She was probably drunk as hell. I guarantee.
This is CNN. Biden's lock him up remark about Trump was a profoundly stupid thing to say. CNN analysts say they've been coming down pretty hard on, with the exception of Anderson Cooper. They've been coming down pretty hard on Kamala.
He was pretty tough on her too the other night.
Yeah, he was. I mean, I'm not anti.
He was pretty tough on Hillary Clinton. I mean, he said several times she should be in prison. I mean, I think we all agree that she probably should still be, but he's short of saying that. I mean, that's pretty bad. He hasn't said that to Kamala yet.
I know. Mind-blowing insanity. Dem senator candidate ripped after accidentally shooting local reporter at a gun range.
I read that.
I kind of wonder that accidentally, but
who did it? A general?
No, a senator candidate. He's a candidate for Senate.
How do you accidentally shoot the reporter that's filming you shoot a gun?
Oh, I had a mishap. Excuse me. That's how I did it.
There's no way. You don't point that at. Oh my God. It's another Cheney thing.
Yeah. Oh my God. What's this world coming to? How many more days, guys? 11?
Something like that. Yeah, let me get the counter up.
Let me get out of here, man. Get out of this.
Okay, here. We're gonna do this one real quick, and I think we'll get into some other things we got. But actually, Jimmy, I have this many links every week. People send me shit, and then I'm on so many other places that just scroll across my phone. I see them, I save them to one of my Facebook pages. It makes it really easy on me. Yeah, and then I can just pull them off like that and play them for y'all. See how easy that is? Works. It's clean, efficient.
All right, so here we go, fellas. You ready?
So let's see. Share your little screeny here. Now this is, like I said, this is
That's it.
Full screen. Okay, there's full screen. So am I on the screen actually? Yeah, I'm on the screen with y'all. Okay. All right, where the hell full screen? There it is. Full screen. And then play. Here we go.
This video right here, then tell me what
We're
you
not gonna play it
notice.
all.
How are you going to bring down the cost of food and groceries?
Good. Very good. Thank you. So we have to start always with energy. Always. I don't want to be boring about it, but there's no bigger subject. It covers everything. If you make donuts, if you make cars, whatever you make, energy is a big deal. And we're going to get that. It's my ambition to get your energy bill within 12 months down 50%. If I can do that, you've done a hell of a job. 5-0, not 15, 50. Interest rates are going to follow, and actually they're going to follow for another reason. The economy is now not good. And interest rates, you'll see they'll do the rate cut and all the political stuff tomorrow, I think. And, will he do a half a point? Will he do a quarter of a point? But the reason is because the economy is not good. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do it. But we're going to get interest rates down, and we got to work with our farmers. Our farmers are being decimated right now. They're being absolutely decimated. And one of the
That could be
reasons is
looking
we
good.
allow a lot of farm product into our country. We're going to have to be a little bit like other countries. We're not going to allow so much We're going to let our farmers go to work.
We really would love to know what your plan is to help lower the cost of living.
Yeah, first of all, thank you both for being here. And yours is a story I hear around the country as I travel. And in terms of both rightly having the right to have aspirations and dreams and ambitions for your family, and working hard and finding that the American dream is for this generation and so many reasons.
You're killing me, Joe.
You notice what I noticed? Sorry. Ever since this woman became the presidential candidate, she has never answered a yes or no question. She has never answered a question spot on. It's always her going around the question, her doing just all this extra stuff, telling stories about herself.
Yeah, she deflects the questions almost always immediately.
When I say that she's not prepared, she's not prepared. Our last president that gave up on us, he wasn't prepared. I don't know why they don't just say, okay, like, you guys, you got it. It's only 4 years. Let's see what he does. You guys, you got it. No, they have too much pride. They want this woman.
He's like, just quit, you dumbasses.
To be the leader of every black person, every talking point for black people.
There's a
and
black
mind
revolution going
even
on
as
here,
black
my friend.
folks. If you go against her, some way, somehow, they're gonna have white folks calling you racist. Oh, you're against black. I'm against who? I'm against who? Like, come on, bro. All we want to know is how you gonna help the economy. All I want you to do is set your pride to the side, set your hatred to the side, and just listen to straight facts. Like, hey, I know some people are gonna be like,
"We love you, dude, but you got to go." I mean, it's to the point now. Oh, I love this one. What is this one? DHS identifies hundreds or even thousands of migrants with possible ties to Argentina gangs, Middle Eastern gang. Oh, Lord, I don't even read that. That just depresses me.
Wonderful.
Biden admin spent $900 million pushing faulty COVID messages, report says. Oh, well, that's just Stuff we don't really care about anymore, but I hope somebody goes to jail for it. Let's see. This is an NBC. We're going to listen to somebody from MSNBC. Okay, there was a couple of support groups MSNBC did. This is one of them. Okay, asking about Kamala Harris. So hold on. Let's cue it back to where it's got to start. No, Jen, really, this is the last one. We got other stuff we got to talk about. Yeah, and we only got Pretty Boy for a little while longer. So
yeah.
Present, share screen. There it is. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me start with the women here about Kamala Harris.
She's a woman of color. I'm not putting her down because of that, and I'm not putting her down because she's a woman. I'm not a feminist, so I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, I don't think that she has the personality. I don't think that she has what it takes to go up against Putin and go up against these other presidents that are built for this. I don't want to be scared because my president is scared. I want my president to feel secure and manly and about it.
We brought up gender, right? Like, do you think it matters that she's a woman and people aren't comfortable having a woman in a top leadership role?
No, I don't think that, because most men, they love their mothers. They love their wives. So as a woman, most men, they respect the woman, but she just don't have the qualification or the education to really run America because she don't have the experience. She don't understand our struggles. And for me to believe you for another 4 years, you're crazy.
Right.
Like, you're crazy. You're saying the same thing that you said 4 years ago.
So the fact that she's the vice president
That's
to
just
you
the
is
bottom line.
You're like, you've been here, you've had a chance.
Yes. Well, for me, the very first time I ever heard the name Kamala Harris, it was in association to locking up parents for truancy. That was the first time I ever heard of her name. And I really didn't understand how this person claims to be a Black woman, but yet she's locking up Black women and Black men and separating families.
This is a thing that is, Trump talks about this a lot. He says, you know, Kamala Harris became Black when it was convenient.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about, do you agree with him on that? Do you feel like she's wearing her Blackness?
Absolutely. She's sworn into when she sworn to the Senate, it was as the first Indian American.
Thank you.
Which is, it's fine. We don't care.
We all know she's not Black. Let's understand that. We are all clear of that. But my point of view is, like I told you earlier, she's already been there. She's in office right now.
Now, to be clear, the voters I spoke with here are not representative of Black voters in Philadelphia on whole. Black voters are expected to support Kamala Harris by wide margins this election. Your feelings, and let me start with
that reporter was getting
wrong,
pissed.
lady.
That reporter was getting pissed. Yes, she was.
Oh, yes, she was. So wait. Oh man, I wanted to do this. This is another good one. This was a Black Michigan auto worker breaks for Trump. There's so many of these people.
Black union workers. Oh, they have some good stuff to say.
There have been. What's that? What did you just send me? Okay, we're gonna play this. That's it, man. It's the last one, my friend. Okay, screen share. Kind of stuff you get me into here.
I have never been so
This
offended
guy's cool.
bringing a man here who is Charlemagne, a false god, to a community that has 4,500 churches, all people of faith. We are extremely offended that she's bringing a podcaster here to talk to Black men about politics. She brought a retired athlete to Flint who is failing, Magic Johnson, and she brought Oprah to Oakland County as if she understands the plight and the pain of people that look like me. We will not allow virtue signaling, or we will not allow identity politics. Black men are not political infants. We know exactly what's happening with the Democratic Party. We know that they've exploited us for over 6 decades. And we are saying, just like Moses said to Pharaoh, let my people go.
Ooh, man.
I have never been so offended.
That is saying it, guys and girls.
Yep.
Huh? Nate Silver, gut prediction, Donald Trump wins. He's the guy who used to own 538 and a couple of the other ones. They consider he's one of the best bowlers in the country. And then they were fact checking her on, like when she said Trump lost manufacturing jobs. Of course he did. He gained manufacturing jobs. So a lot of people have been, and that was CBS actually fact checking her, which was surprising, I guess, because they're in trouble for,
They're in a lot of trouble still, I think.
Yes. What's that, Jamie? Well, there's just a lot going on. There's just a lot going on. Oh wait, we gotta watch this. Hold on, we gotta watch this. This is just stupidness here, but we're gonna play this anyway. I forgot. I seen this today or yesterday. I forgot about it, but this is a white liberal, just for y'all.
I want to know how you can vote. We can't answer the door right now, but if you'd like to leave a message, you can do it now. Shameful. Are you the one that walks by here and always screaming at people? No, I haven't walked by recently. Okay, because a lot of people walk by and scream. Yeah, I'm not surprised. You are voting for the devil. Don't you know that? No. Why are you voting for him? Because I believe he is the moral candidate. Oh my God. You for that one. That's moral? Exactly right. That's how your side acts. You guys immoral person around, in your opinion. That's okay.
Wow. Oh, man. See, this is
God bless you.
Oh my God. This is, I see liberal shit like this all day long, man.
Wow.
It's
That's unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
This came off a news break. Harris can't make the case for herself because that's not the one to break. You enjoyed that one, huh? Trump is divine in your space race. Harris. Oh, wait, is this one? Wait, is this the one? I have to play this one too. Damn it. Should have never came into this damn. Let's see. Okay, this lets me last. Start screen. Jeffrey, don't talk about chocolate and lumber. I have to ban you from the room.
And we're talking about specifically something that happens to Black people here in America. So we have to be specifically targeting to help those people, because we put those people in a position, and everybody knows the history. Yeah. Everybody understands the history of America. That's right. America, you did.
Praise me, brother. That's right.
You should write laws for these people. Don't group us in with everybody, because everybody didn't happen to everybody. But let's be fair. We plan from behind the eight ball.
Special laws for Black people.
Years back. We're not asking y'all to give us nothing. We actually write the law. Those of us who are willing and able to do the work, will do the work. That's right. That's what we need.
What's that all about, Joe?
What does it mean Trump is diving? I don't understand that headline.
Trump is diving U.S. based on race. Here is Kamala Harris literally calling for special laws for Black people.
Nothing.
Well, what they were saying is this guy right here is telling people that they need special laws just for Black people.
Why?
Nothing, nobody else, just for Black people. They're going to have special laws on who's got to go to work, and if they can't work, how much money they're going to get, and things like that.
That doesn't seem exactly fair.
Well, most Black people I've hear this just like lost their mind on it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if she went to
Joe's
that
right.
barber shop? That barber
They probably meant
shop
dividing us, not diving in that headline.
Yeah, it is. You're probably all right. Okay,
yeah, this one. Can you imagine her being at this one?
For anybody who heard that, like what they thought of that.
Deeply offended.
This is another MSNBC
and it
one.
felt like a moment where it's like, you N-words better get in line and do what we say. And it felt like him as the czar of the Democratic Party coming down to say, go get these N-words in line. And the general tone of it was disgusting. It was abhorrent. I don't respect it. I didn't like nothing about it. And Kamala, 2 days after that, is like, we love our Black men. We have programs and things that we're rolling out for them, and she rolled out policy. Good cop, bad cop. Because I'm tired of the good cop, bad cop.
I mean, as you can see, the more you go, and this is MSNBC. Think about this, people. MSNBC is we're going to close this before I play anymore. MSNBC is the most liberal news media on the face of the planet, other than BBC. So if they're playing this, that means they're not finding the people they need to say, I'm going to vote and suck up on Kamala Harris. So they're picking these people and they're not getting them. So a little secret that came out, one of Kamala Harris' aides had leaked that they're really not doing good in internal polling. Well, worse than that, both the Republican PAC and the Democratic PAC do internal polling as well. Well, the internal polling for Trump is quite well. The internal polling for the Democrat PAC is very low, and they have said this more than once, that if current polls are true, she doesn't stand a prayer in hell.
Yeah.
So her own people are saying, and then it's worse than that. Just yesterday, it leaked from the DNC itself that they're telling their senators to distance themselves a little from her and prepare for some excuses on why she lost. So, you know, you don't know, though. We got 2 weeks. Anything can happen in 2 weeks. We got 11 days. So
But
anything can happen.
But she has a bunch of lawyers that are going to contest if Trump wins.
Well, she can't really contest anything because she's not even the legal candidate. If she goes down that alleyway, they're just going to say, okay, well, you weren't the legal candidate. You were never voted on. You were never properly put into place to be the candidate. They'll challenge that. The appellate court will either hold it up or the Supreme Court will. Either way she goes, she's going to end up getting screwed in this deal. Because even if she was to win, Trump could challenge it. First off, that it was only a 3-month election, which pays against him. Secondly, he can challenge it on the fact that she wasn't the elected candidate and she had no business being there. She was thrown in from a coup. I think I guarantee you one of the courts will uphold that and she won't be the candidate. So we've already had the Supreme Court settle one election already. It wouldn't be unheard of for her to do it again.
Well, I saw someone on I think on Facebook said that if while she's vice president, she doesn't have to. She can do something to like not sign the election thing or whatever, and not validate it.
Not validated, yeah.
So that could be a thing.
Just for what? But I don't think that can actually happen with her being the candidate. I think it would fall down to the House, to the same guy who's next in line for the president, the Secretary of House, or whatever.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
Representative of the House. I don't think she can do it because it would be a conflict of interest. If she's the candidate, I think it would be a conflict of interest. So I think it would go down to the House, which is a Republican, by the way. So,
yeah,
Jimmy, he's third in line. So the president, the vice president, and the Speaker of the House. He would be your next candidate for president. Well, they don't want them funky senators doing it. They would rather have somebody from the House. So yeah, so he would be your third. And currently right now, the Republicans hold the House with a majority, and so it would be the Speaker of the House.
I believe they're going to can get some more seats, the Republicans in the House. I really believe.
Well,
that.
if things are on the track that they think they are, yes. I don't trust any tracks anymore. It was like the big red wave. I kept telling everybody it's not going to be a red wave. I don't know what y'all talking about. It could be a red wave, and it wasn't. It was almost a damn blue wave. Well, guys, it's the way it works out sometimes. When you start doing these and you start doing polls, and there's a lot of mood to this, how the country's mood is swinging. Right now, the mood is swinging away from Kamala. Yeah, and the more this stuff goes on in the Middle East and the more this stuff goes in Russia, the more the mood is going to swing away. Number one, she will not say how she's going to get your prices down. Trump has. Even though Anderson Cooper swears, oh, she's got a plan. Y'all gotta go look at her website. She's got a plan. No. And everybody I've heard talk about her economic plan says it's a joke. All of Wall Street signed off that it was a joke. Because she's not a millionaire. She's never made a lot of money. She was a DA. She don't understand finances. She understands criminal law. And from what they say about her in San Francisco and in California, she didn't even understand that very well. She liked to put black people away for possession of marijuana. Yeah, before it was
putting
legalized, you put a
parents
lot
in
away.
jail for their children being truant from school.
Yeah, she liked doing that too. So, I mean, I don't know how good of a speaker she was. I mean, how good of a. Well, no, she became a senator. Yeah, no, she won as a California senator.
Yeah.
Any liberal with a name could win a California senator's job. Yeah. So anyway, let me grab these links. Where are they? Where is the one I want right off the bat? Where's it at? Where's it at? Let's see. It's not that one. Well, we can talk about this. Russian disease that's eating away at Putin's army. Ooh, sounds nasty. Talk about that. World's oldest pyramid. Actually, 25,000 years old. Ooh, that's for another show.
We talked about that before.
25,000 years old.
That's twice as old as the pyramids and the Sphinx.
We'll have to do a show about that. What's that, Johnny J? Yeah, we'll have to do a show about that specifically. Well, we have to once we're done with election season, we can do anything we want. We can do an hour of news and then do 2 hours of a show.
Mm-hmm.
SpaceX capsule just came back to Earth without the damn Boeing Starliner astronauts.
Yeah,
they weren't scheduled to come back on this flight. Don't ask me. I don't have nothing about that. U.S. election swing state polling suggests Trump victory. This is Pennsylvania. Population.
He should be 5.6 or 0.6.
Okay, what's this saying right here? I might be able to. Oh no, I don't think I can. Well, you know what? Let me switch this over to Google and I can bring this up. Hold on a second. Here we go. Walking down the street. It's hey with the monkeys, man. Yeah, look, you see, Jonas, you have no idea what I'm talking about right now. So don't even strain
that could be the song, huh?
Oh, we forgot to play our intro song tonight. We got to start remembering that. Damn it.
Dude, we were so pumped up to talk about whatever we were talking about.
Oh, I know. Which is one of the things we're going to start have to remember. That's all. Okay, let's see. Here we go with this. This. Go with this. Is there any audio here? Yes, there is. Go back, thing. I want to go back. That's got to go because it's got to go to it. Yeah, start over so we can watch it. What is this thing saying? Okay, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's me. And Sean.
Yep.
Let's see. 2020, 2016, 2012. So here we go. Michigan. 10 million people in Michigan. 270 to win. Trump 238. Wisconsin. Okay. Okay, Nevada. It's only 3 million people in Nevada? Shit. Gave it to Trump. Even though what's her face looked like she might have been winning it, but they gave it to Trump. Arizona. Oh, they made it totally right. 255 with Arizona. Here comes Georgia.
I used to live there.
271 at Georgia, North Carolina. They're giving it red to Trump. 287. He was already over at Georgia.
Yeah.
So the only two they didn't give him was Michigan and Wisconsin. Ooh, Jackson Brown. Now, I don't know, people. I'm telling you, y'all better watch New York. New York is looking flippy-ippy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're turning purple.
Yeah, they're having some general issues in New York. It's no, all the polls have them right now at 50-50. Now we haven't got to the real polls, which we will in just a few minutes. But
well, hey, check this out real quick, because Sean did ask the question. This is the time we have left. 10 days, 1 hour, and 12 minutes. 10 days.
10 days.
Oh.
Russia Su-35 fighter jet in trouble. So what's the article? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Well, where'd it go?
Joe Fox says in the gambling world, I heard where Trump is the favorite by.
Oh yeah, by far. He keeps going up. I think the gap is almost like 14 points now. Patriot missile decimates Russia advanced Su-35 fighter in Ukraine conflict. Decimates. That's sad, guys. I mean, not for us, but for them.
Yeah.
It's what is this? Astronomers study Dandelion Supernova Remnant uncovering rare zombie star.
Rare zombie star.
Yeah, I never even heard of
What
that.
makes the star a zombie?
How can you do that?
That's what I just asked.
Yeah, Eugeno.
We'll have to say that for another show. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm looking that up still.
Yeah, you say you got it.
Seriously. A
It's
zombie
one of those.
star.
That's one of them weird things. So Putin asked Musk to switch off internet over Taiwan as a favor to China in chilling request. And you know what? Y'all want to know what Elon's was? What his
That
answer
seems
was?
to be a thing. Wow, what do you know?
That was Elon's answer.
Zombie star. Who would have thought?
Lukashenko warns of war. Russia attempts to annex Belarus. You can have
Ooh, Joe Fox. I can't wait until Jimmy Kimmel rots in hellfire. Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy's gonna rot. But you gotta love him still. Researchers find plane buried in Arctic ice holding decade-long secret. That could be interesting. North Korea attacks South Korea's president with words.
Oh, wow.
A North Korean balloon with trash exploded over South Korea with parts of it contains landing in a residence of South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol.
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
It's I would consider that an act of war, actually, because there could have been contaminants in there.
Well, I would kind of consider, an uncounted amount of illegal immigrants running across the border an act of war from however many countries people are running across our border from.
I kind of agree with that. CNN scientists say skeleton remains found in castle.
Thank you, Christy.
Well belonged to figure from 800-year-old saga. Oh, no, let's get that one. Now y'all going to like this one. So, how early voting breaks down in swing states after 31 million votes. After 31 million votes.
I don't think it should be allowed. I mean, for crying out loud. The mail-in things are the same thing. I think only official military personnel and, government personnel overseas should be able to do it. There's no proctor involved. So how does the guy who gets the vote in the mail, how does he know that the person whose name is on there is the same person that filled it out?
So in the early voting, they have seen a surge of Republican voters in all 7 swing states. Much larger than anything they saw in previous elections.
Yeah.
Georgia, North Carolina, Georgia approximately. Georgia's already received 2.3 million ballots, and most of them are for
It's one of the biggest states in the East Coast. I think it's the 3rd biggest on the East Coast, isn't it?
Looks like he's surging in all those states where he wasn't supposed to be. So we got to keep an eye on that from now until election time. Breaking: Iran hit by several explosions in Tehran and other cities. Ooh, I think you shouldn't have pissed Israel off. Israel's not playing with you.
You're holding hostages from 83 countries. Is it 83 countries they have hostages from now still?
I don't know, but we should have already went and got the fucking hostages. Excuse me.
It's a no-brainer. Any regular president would have said, "Look, release them or else," and then we'd probably be doing the or else already.
NASA's Curiosity rover has found evidence of life on Mars.
No kidding. We've been saying that for years. There's no surprise.
I don't believe it.
That's old news.
I don't believe that. I don't believe Mars exists.
Oh my God, what are we going to do with him? Do you believe in ghosts?
Yep, I do.
Okay, you never heard of the ghost of Mars?
No.
Oh, see, you ain't no ghost hunter, man. Damn. You see ghost hunter,
Mars don't exist. It's all them all that video, all them pictures you see.
It's not in the firmament.
It's CGI. It's all it is, dudes.
Well, how was it CGI 200 years ago? Or even 50 years ago, for that matter.
You have to ask You have to ask. You have to ask. You have to ask Anunnaki about that one. They're the ones that.
Anunnaki smoke too much weed.
Hey guys, I'm going to bed. Got to go to work.
Right, be good. Wait, let me tell you this one. You like this one before you go. Kamala Harris dealt triple swing state polling blow.
The what?
Yeah, she took a hit in 3 states right in a row.
Oh.
Bam, bam, bam.
Oh, okay.
Well, he was speaking English, but he wasn't.
I'm just reading what it says. Kamala Harris dealt triple swing state polling blow. Maybe I read it too fast.
Hey, good night, guys. I'll see you.
Sweet dreams, baby. Be good.
Will do. Bye-bye.
I've read some of those articles.
Go Redskins,
any like
go.
grammar checking, no spell checking. It's like, who wrote these things? And it's just they're the worst things ever.
So I love this when it says, analysts say not to put too much stock in Trump's momentum. The other guy says, well, wait, when she was surging, you were like, oh, this proves it. Now she's going backwards and he's surging. You're saying don't put any stock in. The guy's like, he's surging pretty hard, man. He said, yeah, of course I want to say it's not, people, because your candidate looks like they're about to get their ass kicked. I don't know.
About dude. If we went to the polls today, that looks like the polls when we get to them, they're going to say Trump wins.
It's I know. So when the vetting poll came out a while back, Trump was up by like 4 points, and then he was up by 6, then he was up by 9, then he was up by 14. I don't know what he's up by now. I'd have to go look.
Yeah.
But he was at 59, and she was at 41. So he was at 18 points.
And the week before he was at 48, so that's 11 points. That's pretty good.
That's a big gap, yeah.
Yeah.
What's that, Christopher? That's you can look it up. Just type in betting odds for the election.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought it was illegal to vote in
elections. Vegas odds. There's a couple of websites that come up, and it'll tell you what the guys in Vegas who laid the book odds for, like, horse races and shit. They'll tell you who they think is winning, and they haven't been wrong yet.
Yeah.
Neither has Joe, by the way.
On the last 4 or 5, yeah.
I got one wrong. I called Trump, and he lost to Biden.
Yeah, that one though. For some reason, it was somewhere.
When we went to bed, he was winning. It was pretty much of a shoe-in, and then the next day, it's like, oh, by the way, your new president is Biden. I went, that was a spit take. I swear.
Yeah, that was a hard thing to take for a lot of people because he was kicking his ass pretty hard.
Oh yeah, it was pretty much a shared thing at like midnight when we left the show.
So we are on 270 to win. Ooh. Let's see what 270 nationally. They are 0.5% a point, which is a tie. Arizona, Trump is 2 points ahead. Georgia, Trump is 2 points ahead. Michigan, she's 0.8 ahead. Nevada, Trump is a point ahead. North Carolina, Trump is 2 points ahead. Pennsylvania, Trump is 2 points ahead. Wisconsin, Harris is 0.7 ahead. So that's all of our swing states, people. There you go, right there. Trump's winning 5 of the 7, which I think the numbers are so close. I'd say he's winning all 7. Let's see, Maryland, 33%. Look at New Hampshire. He's only 5% out on New Hampshire.
You mean he's gaining steam in a blue state?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's 50-44. Almost 50-45.
Let me
Ohio,
see what this Hogan is doing.
Let's see, Ohio kicking ass. South Dakota 26 points ahead. Florida 6.5 points ahead. Harris is 7 ahead. Maine district, District 2, Trump is ahead by 9 points in Maine. It's really weird up there.
Oh, wow.
Texas up by 5 and 6. I think that's higher than that. 5640 on this map for New York, but we know that's much different than that now. New Mexico, he's gained more. He's up to 42 points now, 42% in New Mexico. It's because of that crazy mayor. He's up to 41% in Oregon. He might win the popular vote. Washington, he's getting his ass kicked by 20. Alaska, he's winning by 7. California, he's made up a little ground, but he's still losing by like 22. Minnesota, it says Harris is up by 5.
You want to hear something sad?
Oh, what's up?
Well, you already went through Maryland, but Larry Hogan, I don't remember if we talked about him on show or pre-show before we got on air. I don't remember, but he's a Republican running in Maryland, the state just south of me, and he's running against Democrat Angela Also Brooks, who used to be, I believe, DA in D.C. for a while. Anyway, Larry Hogan has tried to divest himself from the Trump campaign, says he's not going to vote for Trump. It's a bad idea. He's polling at 39.5 while she's got 50.8, a spread of 11.3. So it looks like Trump is not going to get Maryland.
Well, that's because the guy should have went the other way.
The Senate office either.
They, I think Maryland's so split like in 3 things or something.
Maryland is traditionally blue, and it sucks. That's where I was. That's my home state, and it's a beautiful state, but I just can't stand the politics.
No, it's Maine that's split into 3. No, I'm sorry.
No.
It's Maine that's split up in 3. So let's see. Where were we? Utah, of course.
2 panhandles. One is landlocked, the other isn't.
Let's see. Utah, Tennessee, Montana, big numbers for Trump. Massachusetts, a big number for her. Virginia, they're saying 8 points. I think it's going to be much closer than that in Virginia. Ohio, Trump's kicking ass. North Dakota, South Carolina, Indiana, all belong to Trump. Nebraska.
Yeah, when he first initially grabbed J.D. Vance, we noticed an immediate uptick in his numbers in Ohio, like the very next day, in fact.
He's made progress in Colorado. He's up to 44%.
Colorado's typically a blue state too, isn't it?
Colorado's weird. No, I would say it's typically blue, but sometimes it leans a little purple and some red.
Yeah.
It's a weird state. It used to be like a tri-state where it was all 3 colors, but
yeah.
So Colorado, yeah, we just said that one. Connecticut, she's up by 16. Rhode Island, she's up by 16. Missouri, he's up by 12. Arkansas, he's up by 15. Oklahoma, he's up by 16. Nebraska, he's up by 17. West Virginia, he's up by 27. Vermont, she's up by 41.
Wow.
41. Vermont, fuck you, Vermont. How's that?
Yeah, that state's never going to go red.
Yeah, I just said, fuck you. If you don't like it, cry somewhere else.
Although, aren't they directly south of Maine? They probably have good lobster there. Big deal.
I don't trust them. They might poison the lobster. Fuck you, Maine. Yeah, no, I mean, fuck you, Maryland. Now, who the hell was we telling fuck you to? I forgot now. Was that Jimmy Lee? Actually, they're tied in the national poll. So know this. She was as high as 7 points ahead of him in the national poll. They're 0 tied now. They're tied in the national, and he's ahead in all but one of the swing states. Yeah. Now we haven't. That's 270 to win. 270 is a pretty decent site. They lean a little left, but still they try to be a little fairer than some of the other ones do. No, I don't have to have anything against them. I think they're doing their job. So right now, let's see. Let's go with what the current forecast is. Kamala, Democrats have 20 combinations to win. Republicans have 21 combinations to win. But this is what they showed earlier on the map. So he's at, where is he at? He is at 219. So they showed Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. What does that give you?
That's probably enough right there.
That gives me, why is it that doesn't show me? Usually it shows me.
Isn't Pennsylvania 19?
Yeah, Pennsylvania's 19. Why would it show me? It usually shows me on the map. Oh, wait, I know why it hasn't showed me. Hold on. Because I didn't darken it into red. Okay. So what, this thing isn't working right or something? Wait, maybe. Okay, what are you doing? You're taking points away. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with that. Oh, okay, I see what's going on. All right, hold on, let's see this out. Do it right. Since I messed it up. So let's do what they said earlier. So it was Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, and Arizona. That gives you 281 with those. So if you take out Pennsylvania, it drops you into two. But if you take out Pennsylvania, it drops into 262. Even see, and if he wins Nevada, that puts him at 68. He would still have to win Wisconsin or Michigan without Pennsylvania, but he could still do it.
So it's like the last time. It's crucial on Pennsylvania again.
Well, it's Pennsylvania, or he has to take Michigan and Wisconsin.
Well, you don't think he's going to take Michigan?
It's what?
Even the computerized model said he was going to get Michigan.
Yeah, but right now they're running a dead tie, so I'm not sure. They have won Michigan before, so I'm not sure. So we'll have to.
Yeah, but I mean, computer models usually aren't that far off. If it shows Michigan as being completely neutral or whatever the white was for, he's not going to win it.
Let's see. Well, they got these all gray on here. So currently, the score is 219 to 226. So Trump flips New York. That puts him at 247. Takes Pennsylvania, puts him at 266. All he's got to do is take any one of the other states and he wins. Trump, come on, dude, you got to flip New York, man. You got to flip it. No, really, yeah, you got to flip it. People would shit he flipped New York.
If he's smart, he'll do the Detroit speech in New York City, and insult Detroit again, and I'll bet you he wins the state.
So take Pennsylvania, take North Carolina, take Georgia. It does it. If he takes those three, he's the next president of the United States. Even though there's 1, 2, 3.
How many does Georgia have?
16. Georgia and North Carolina both have
35
16.
with Pennsylvania and Georgia alone. 35 and 19. He has 219.
He's got 219. He needs all three states to win, but
really 35 and 219
puts him exactly at 270. And there are 5 ways to tie, I think they said. And if I remember correctly, the tie goes to the Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
Which is a Republican. And it's a Trump Republican at that. I don't know. It looks good, guys and girls. Wouldn't hold your breath until it's all said and done. Now we're going to go find where is it at? 538. These fucking liberal bastards. If Trump's not 5 points behind here, I'll be shocked. So this is for October 24th. This is yesterday. This is taken by TIPP Insights. It's a very liberal organization. They have Harris up by 2. Oh, shit. Last week she was up by 5. The Activote, which is another liberal organization, has them tied. So let me explain something to you, ladies and gentlemen. I know y'all forget this, but when a liberal organization pulls a tie, that generally means the other candidate is winning, because that means half of your people are thinking about voting for the enemy, or there wouldn't be a tie. President general election Virginia has it 49-48. So we just seen on 270 where they had a 6-point gap 538's not believing that. They think there's a 1 point gap, which means Trump can take Virginia.
And Virginia is traditionally a blue state as well.
Yes. Well, it wasn't in the beginning, but it is now. Tufts University, 49-48. So mostly, Trump has closed the lead. He's actually taken a couple of these. So on Message Me, this is another liberal thing. He took her by a point. The New York Times, Siena College, he took her by a point. Oh yes, he's taking her by a couple of points. Oh man, that's a shocker. I can't even be 538's got somewhere she's ahead on. I mean, he's ahead on. I'm just in shock. I mean, total shock at that. It's what's that, Jimmy? No, we'll get to the CBS, NBC polls in a minute, but 270, 538, and Clear Choice or Clear Channel, whatever they call themselves, are some of the three biggest polling companies because they do multiple polling companies. But it's been funny, for the most part, with the exception of 1 week, the New York Times has had Trump ahead in the swing states and in other places. But on a national poll, they've had him either tied or close. Like right now, they've got him a point apart. Michigan, they got him a point apart. Let's see what they think. So Pennsylvania, they got him a point apart. So this is a New York poll. They got Harris winning 5 of the how many states? But Trump's got Georgia, Arizona, and North Carolina. That might give him the win. That's 16. It's close. And she's got Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, and Pennsylvania. I don't know. I don't think she's going to get Pennsylvania.
I don't think so.
What's that, Jimmy? So they're saying on this map, they're saying that
I honestly think he won Pennsylvania when he got shot.
He might have, and I wouldn't rule that out.
It really, I mean, the numbers changed like almost immediately. The next week he was up 25 and 50 points. 25 points in, I think it was Texas, and then 38 in Iowa. And I think he was up 7 or 8 or 10 in Pennsylvania after that. I mean, it was a big push.
If she takes Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, Pennsylvania, she wins by 6. Yeah.
Well, we don't want that to happen.
So, if she,
we got stereo Thundercats going on.
And this one, if Trump takes Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania, he wins by like 17.
Wow.
They've actually shown him one here where he can take everything but Michigan. He has a good chance of that. They're showing both of them very, very close in all of this. I don't like it being close because that means that they can cheat easier.
Well, I mean, I think they've cheated on multiple other elections. Probably Bill Clinton's win. I know they cheated.
I don't think they had to cheat for Clinton.
Recently,
I'm ready for a change.
I do believe Trump in that. I do think that they definitely fudged some numbers there, and I think Pennsylvania was the state that they did it in.
They didn't have to do a lot of numbers to win that election.
No, I think it was only 50,000 votes or something like that they added to the thing.
Yeah, it was.
That's all it took.
The New York Siena Times poll is predicting, even though their numbers are a little bit more favoring Harris, they're predicting Trump to win. That must have took some hard shit to put out.
I mean, it's like I keep saying, she keeps saying all of her, running partners. Tim Walz keeps saying it. Obama has said it. Clinton has said it. They say we got a lot of work to do. Yeah, because you're way, way, way behind. You have no chance in hell of winning.
There's a lot more people coming out. A lot more of the stuff is starting to leak out saying she's far behind. Well, people, you're not going to see the polls that show her behind. Like 538 only uses liberal companies. Yeah. All that shows you is it's a dead heat amongst the liberals. Well, no. Like MSNBC, how many Republicans do you think? So when you see an MSNBC poll come out and says Trump's down by 2 points, how many independents and how many conservatives do you think actually watch MSNBC? Not that many. So that poll is majority Democrats, 86 or 70%, 90, probably about 80% or more as Democrats. So when you see polls like that, you have to go, well, wait a minute. The majority of people took that poll Democrats, and half of them aren't voting for Harris. That just means a good bit of her base isn't going to show up. And just because you say, I'm going to vote, doesn't mean you're going to go out and vote. That's the other problem. What is this? This was taken, make sure I got this straight in my head. 41,012 poll results, October 25th, International Democratic poll, International Republican poll, ended on October 25th, Trump versus Harris. Holy shit. Am I on Google on here? Wait a minute, I'm going to have to show this. Present, share screen. Is that one? This one? Let's see. This one? It's this one. Not sure where I'm at. Yeah, this is it. I'm off camera here. You see this? And it's 36%.
Well, the margins, yeah, they're 26. Wow. 38 there.
So, no, I think the next one down is a different question, right or wrong way. So this is Trump versus Harris up here.
Yeah.
And then
What
this
is
next
that?
one is wrong way. Do you think we're in the wrong way? 61% of people asked, and this 41,000 said we're on the wrong way.
On the wrong track. Yeah, the right track with the wrong track.
Yeah. President general ballot. This is the one from Senior College.
National.
Yeah,
Harris.
47 tie.
Bullshit. Pardon my French.
And this one is Senior College. Trump's ahead by 1 point.
By 1 point. And what other? Who's the other?
Oh wait, he's also ahead down here, but we're going backwards now.
By 1 point.
And then House.
Dead even
Oh, this is
bullshit.
the House and Senate. This is different. Okay, so but this is the important one right here. Trump versus Harris.
Yeah. A margin of 30. Is that 38 or 36?
No. Beep, beep, beep. We got to throw hot water in here. Beep, 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 beep.
It was entered on today, but it's a week ago. It's last week's numbers.
So I don't even know what to tell you on polls like that, people. I don't know what to tell you. Presidential general ballot test national. This one's got Harris up by 2. Oh, that's a TBI. Never mind. We know who they are. Yeah, so they have to put a liberal poll up there. Well, they're not going to cite Fox. What are you, crazy? They're not going to cite any, like One American News? Oh, no, they're not citing them. No, because that would show Trump ahead. Well, that's the point. They look for the polls that are beneficial to them.
Yeah.
Which I never quite understood, because sometimes saying you're winning by too much will cause people not to come out.
Well, and then you're also constantly apologizing to your constituency. Sorry we lost that one for you, but we'll get him next time. Yeah, we're in the trenches, whatever. Come on. I mean, the cult thing, like my friend who wrote the Cult Man song we played a few weeks ago, you can see the cultism on both sides. It's strange.
It's which, I mean, there's so much crap going on with these polls. No, we monitor them because we want to know what's going on. It helps us. Yeah, we're going to do this one next. This is Real Clear Politics. Now, their polls are always interesting. Well, do a fair poll. Like right now on our poll, on American Polling Company's poll, Trump's up by 4. That's what he's up, and I think it's at 61,000 votes, so that's not bad. It just ended today. Up by 4. Yeah, that's pretty good. So let's see. This is Real Clear Politics. This is National Trump poll. New York Times, seen a poll, tied.
Huh?
Yep.
Did you say
CNN.
Biden?
Huh?
Did you say Biden?
No. It's Harris and Trump. I said New York Times, Cena poll, Harris versus Trump, tied. Okay, CNN, tied. Rasmussen has Harris up by 1, which is weird because that is a conservative poll. And New
Country
Hampshire
cannot be that exactly split up. There's no way. That's absolute bullshit.
Okay, let's see. It's interesting. Rasmussen has Harris up. That's kind of strange. That's in New Hampshire is 50-47. National Trump versus Harris. Wall Street Journal. Trump is up by 3.
Do you have a poll for popularity versus Harris versus Trump or no?
Not here.
We've been doing a lot just on who's going to vote for him, but what is the popularity voting? I'll bet you that tells the tale.
Let's see. Let me see if I can bring this one up. With us.
Find one.
Present their screen. Well, this has got a lot of information on it, so maybe something's on there that we're looking for. So this is the Rear Clear Politics. So we'll go back up here and start. This is the ones we were seeing for October 25th national polls. Tie. Harris up by 1. This is New Hampshire, so don't worry about that one. Okay. Now, yesterday, Wall Street Journal has Harris up by 3. CNBC, holy shit, it's got Harris up. I mean, let me start a national Trump poll. Wall Street Journal, Trump is up by 3. CNBC, Trump is up by 2. Pennsylvania, Trump is up by 1. Pennsylvania, Trump, Harris, Trump is up by 1. Wisconsin, Harris, Trump is up by 1. North Carolina, Trump is up by 2. North Carolina, Trump versus Trump is up by 2. Arizona, Trump versus Trump is up by 1. Georgia, there's a tie. Ohio, Trump is up by 7. South Dakota, Trump's up by 27. Georgia, Trump's up by 2. So he's pretty much. Hold on, now I lost everybody. Let me go back and find the thing. So Trump is just up on all those polls so much. I was like, damn. Let's see if I can find the room now. I'm not in the room anymore. Hide 500 million. This is October 23rd. Bloomberg, Trump up by 2. Bloomberg, Trump up by 1. Pennsylvania, Bloomberg, Harris up by 2. Trump up by 3. Trump tied. Oh, this looks really brutal for Harris. I hope she's not looking at this. She must be crying somewhere.
Huh.
I mean, we'll just scroll real slow for people to look.
Well, I mean, there's that one where he's like up a lot. It's a little further down.
So when you look at these people, these are ties. The exception of Rasmussen, she's up by 1, which is weird. These are ties, so this means Trump's winning in all of these. Then you scroll down and you see, because this is yesterday, Trump is winning in all of these. Trump, Harris, Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal would soon die as give Trump a plus rating.
Yeah.
CNBC is the same way. Franklin Marshall, they're the same way. They cannot. They must be dying. Emerson College is. All of these have got Trump up, except for this one right here,
there's Trump in South Dakota plus 27.
So I mean, when you look at here's Pennsylvania. Finally, she's up by 2 on something, but that's Bloomberg. Winnipeg tie. I mean, it's this is the 23rd. So it shows you the difference as it's moving forward to 24th, how different it is from the 23rd, the 22nd. You know,
21st. Huh. Well, he's
this
up by 10
University of North Florida. Yeah. So when you see these, pretty much guarantees the swing states are his, all but Michigan.
Yeah.
What's that, Janie? Yeah, all but Michigan. I thought I heard
Michigan might not even vote for her either.
Yeah, I'm kind of doubting if they're going to or not. Where the hell is the room at? Oh, there it is. Oh, I see Leah's back. Hey, Leah.
Yeah.
It's
Hi.
What's up, Chicky? So we've been over about 30 of these, about 35 of these polls. Hate to be the one to break her the bad news, but they're leaning towards Trumpy Wumpy.
Yeah.
Harris holds Texas dry. What was that, Liz?
What's the day? Is the 25th, right?
Yeah, we're 10 days out now.
10 days and 1 hour away, or less than that now.
Huh. So a week and a half to go before all hell breaks loose?
Yeah, he may break loose before then because Halloween's in 6 days.
What's in 6 days?
Halloween.
Oh.
Yeah.
All Hallows Eve.
Yeah.
Day before. Oh, I haven't seen a Gallup poll. Now, y'all hold y'all's breath because Gallup is usually very liberal.
Is my truck too loud?
It's not too bad right now. Job approval, blah, 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 blah. So, Trump left office. Oh, look at Obama had a 52. I don't believe that even a little bit. George Bush had a 48. Bush was like an 80. George W. Bush, I believe that 34. Clinton had a 54. Reagan had a 58. Highest one on the list.
Yeah, I think he crushed both of his
Oh
campaigns.
no, look at Nixon had a 58.
Oh, did he?
Eisenhower.
He was
Shoot,
very well
Johnson
liked
had
until the Watergate incident.
Johnson had a 74 and Eisenhower had a 68. Look at that shit.
So what's it not Eisenhower? Johnson was a drunk.
I don't know, people, and that's not what we came to this site for, by the way, people. We came to see the election, not that bullshit. Economy concerns. Let's see. Where did they get these crappy polling numbers from?
Oh, I bet you some of them were made up.
Well, some of them just didn't even make any sense.
You remember what Stephen Wright said about statistics? He said 82% of them are made up on the spot every time.
Well, yeah. Well, I know enough pollers that I know enough people who go out and do polls and that it's true. I hate to say it. Rainy. I used to know a couple of polling companies. We don't do like polls, so our polls are on the internet, and they're set up for only one vote. But I didn't. We don't do polling like in malls and stuff. And the reason why is I knew several people, several companies, and several people who did this. And what they do is they go poll because they had a quota they had to make every day. And if they didn't make the quota, they would just go home and get the yellow pages out. The white pages out. You get your phone number and your address, put all that in there, and then they'd put the answer they want to put in. Yes. And usually it was real close, except for whatever side they pulled on, they would pull it a little closer to that side. Yes. I know it's bullshit, what can I tell you? But it's true. It's what happens. Today, let's see. October 20th, let's see. Democracy Institute, Trump is up by 3. The only place she's up is at TIPP Insights.
And the margin of error is probably 3, so it's that could be closer to a tie, but I doubt it.
Well, the TIPP Insights have her up by 2. Active Vote has them tied.
I can't believe there's so many ties. That can't be accurate.
Because we're getting the closer, just another tie. Seen it because the closer we get to the election, we're going to nudge over.
They don't want to call it. That's the thing, right?
They don't want to call it, but the closer we get, if the trends stay like this, Trump will be nudging over. Eventually, he will be ahead in all the national polls. He's already had quite a few of them, so it's and the national polls are not. And people keep forgetting that this isn't a popularity contest. The national polls are not as important as those swing state polls are.
Yeah, I searched for popularity comparisons between the two, and then all that came up was voting results, voting comparisons. So no one's really, marking their popularities at this point. I don't think.
Yeah, because they're not.
It's moot. He's been all over the news since he was, indicted on 36 different counts.
Okay, wait a minute. Why
Democrats
are they giving the Democrats
his ad campaign?
So this company's starting the Democrats out with 250, and the the Reds out with 219. Okay, so what are they doing that gives them that two? Oh, They're giving them.
Maryland and Virginia.
They're giving them Wisconsin and Michigan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Because their polls have them like 5 points apart on there.
What do you think could alter the course and like throw Trump out of the lead of these polls? And what like something that could possibly switch
Well,
it?
he's been pretty good speaking publicly. He hasn't been like his old self with when he was running against Hillary Clinton. However, if he does go back to that, I think he could lose a lot of points. But he's been pretty good about not, being as much of an ass as he was in the past. So someone's
in the past.
coaching him pretty well, I would think.
In respect to that, me, like, it could be perceived as him losing his steam.
Well, I don't know about losing steam now. It's too close. He's on
I
a
don't think
rampage.
he's losing any of that. I think
Sort of
he's
having a heart
actually gained
attack. I don't know.
Yeah, he's actually gained some, especially after the couple of rallies he's had. He's definitely gaining points.
It's more the real problem right now is how does Kamala keep from losing any more steam than she's lost? So she started out big.
The best bet for her is speaking in public, or at least
But I told everybody if she would have had to do the year like Joe Biden did, right now she'd be 10 points below Trump.
Oh, they'd be replacing her already. There'd be a third candidate up there.
Yeah, they would have tried to replace her at the last one. I mean, because the problem is she's got too much baggage and too much garbage. And we haven't even gotten into the fact that her husband, slapped the one girl, helped the other girl get the abortion. I mean, it's just too much stuff. He's supposed to be the perfect new liberal guy. And everybody's looking at him, so I'm supposed to slap my girlfriend around, right? To the point that she has an abortion. There's that kind of stuff going around. And then now we've got Israel blowing up shit, Iran blowing up shit, North Korea having troops in Russia, China trying to get Elon Musk.
Too, Joe. Did you
yeah, but
that?
I mean, trying to get China's trying to get what's his face to turn off the internet to Taiwan. I mean, we're on the verge of a big ass fucking war. And the real question right now to anybody is not just the economy or immigration is can Kamala Harris take on these people? That's really the question. She says all the time, well, I'm a prosecutor and I did fentanyl, I did this. Well, you didn't catch any big game lords, did you? You didn't put any big Contras in jail or anything like that. I went and checked because she kept saying how she was busting cartels my ass. She didn't bust any cartels. So, and even if she did, the cartel's nothing compared to Vladimir Putin or Xi Jinping or Kim Jong-un or the Ayatollah Khomeini. I mean, they're just, is she the person that can deal with this? Can she get up there and take care of it and keep us all safe? You heard with them blacks. You missed it. We played a ton of clips from.
Not go into action even after there's been American hostages taken. All Biden has done is throw money at the problem. He has not thrown troops. Well, okay, until just recently, yeah, he threw the THAAD rocket system with troops to operate it to Israeli soil, and they've been active. But other than that, there's been no forward progression, no aggressive action to get the hostages back. And I think that shows weakness, and I think that's why
I think Biden's forgot. I don't even think he knows it. He's so scored out of his mind all the time.
Trump would say he doesn't know where he is, but sometimes he seems lucid, sometimes he doesn't. He's got something coming on. He's not going to be fit to do another 4 years, even if he did win. He's losing his mental capacities.
He's been smoking that good Mardi Gras ganja they got.
Or he hasn't been smoking enough. Whatever the problem is, he's got it big time.
And yeah, they got that. They got that Mardi Gras ganja down there, man. Mess you up.
Yeah,
but today he was running. It's like you get different Bidens. I mean, literally, the dude was running today.
Yeah.
He ran away from reporters when he said he was flying down to Arizona to apologize to the Native Americans for stealing and fucking up their country.
Really?
Really? Yeah. That's what he said. His words.
He's old enough to have been back then. Is it his fault? I guess so then.
I don't know whose fault it is, but we're sure to hell getting blamed for it.
That was an attempt at convincing Native American voters to vote Democrat.
Yeah, of course.
So have you guys?
Well, wait. It don't work that way. Not most Native Americans can't vote. They're not citizens of the United States.
Yeah, like
People forget that when you live on a reservation, you're not a citizen of the United States unless you become a citizen of the United States. You're not born one now. Don't ask me. I don't make the rules.
It's crazy to me to think about that because I mean, it's like they're forced to live as outliers within a country.
Well, no, they're not forced to live. They choose to live.
Yeah, it's their own nation.
Well, what is that there's a whole other government and people of there's a whole different economy and commerce that they have to live inside of. Like I'm sure gas stations.
It's essentially one of the ideas that Abraham Lincoln had that he was going to do with the African American slaves in the 1860s, but someone shot him in the head instead. One of the ideas was to do like what the Indian nations are now. It's a nation within the nation. They're completely autonomous countries within themselves, within our country. It's a similar idea that just happened to fall on the Native Americans and not the African Americans.
So I mean, like, where are they spending the money that they get? It's like
it's all internal. They have most of them have very successful casinos. The first casino I went to was an Indian reservation. I believe it was called Gila River, and it's in Arizona near where my parents' house was. And I had a good time until the professionals saw I was doing good and they came by and wiped me out, bastards. But I still had fun. And free liquor.
Products that they need to survive. You know, where are they buying their cars? Where are they buying their gas? Where are they buying? It's all.
They have their own in-nation infrastructure. They have gas stations and convenience stores, and they can travel outside the reservation borders and go to big cities as well.
They say they've been able to vote since 1924. Well, nobody was actually voting then because nobody would let them. But they said the reason that Arizona flipped last time was because of the Native American vote.
So
no, live and learn.
Talked at all prior to my arrival tonight about this perspective of there being an oncoming civil war, like directly after the election?
From who?
Here in the United States.
But who is going to be doing a civil war? Democrats aren't.
Might hell break loose, but it won't be Trump's fault. But they'll try to blame it on him.
There ain't going to be no hell break loose because, one, there would have been the BLM in the old days, but that's not going to happen because too many blacks, as you heard from all the clips we played earlier, or pro-Trump. So I don't know how that won't play out real well for anybody. And then, white liberals are lazy, so they're not going to get out there and protest. I don't know. If Trump was to lose with all the polls flipping his way and all, there might be some trouble, but maybe not. I mean, there wasn't that much trouble. If what's her face? If Nancy Pelosi would have put the National Guard there like Trump asked her, there would have been no trouble on January 6th.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're wanting to investigate her now because she admitted on her daughter's videotape that she should have put the National Guard there, and nobody would have died if she'd have put the National Guard there. There'd have been no going into the Capitol, nobody shitting on her desk. Oh, by the way, did y'all see that monument they put out front of the Capitol building?
No.
They put a desk out there with Nancy Pelosi's name and a big pile of shit on top of it.
Oh wow!
No, nobody will take credit for putting it out there, but somebody did. But it's the truth. If she would have done her job, because she was the only one. See, that's what everybody forgets. Oh, Trump should have done. Trump couldn't do it. A president cannot order a military of any kind onto our soil. It's just not allowed to do that. The governors can use the National Guard as they see fit, but presidents cannot. president can order the military to go kick somebody's ass across the world, no problem, for at least 90 days without Congress. But
right,
they can't do it on they can't do it on Americans. It is totally illegal
No.
to use our military on Americans. So
The National Guard is the best they can deploy, and most of that's going to be our neighbors.
Bruce, the
That
National
could be a
Guard is the old
Civil War.
militia. So if you ever read the Second Amendment, it really doesn't say you have the right to bear arms. It says you have the right to form a militia, meaning that you can form groups that have weapons. Like
Well,
the
no, it
military.
specifically does say that you can bear arms in order to form the militia.
Yeah, but it really means you form a mission. Doesn't mean you're supposed to be walking around town with your gun strapped to your hip. That's not what the founding fathers actually meant.
Yeah.
Even though that's what it ended up being.
But it is left up to interpretation by,
It
city,
is.
county, state, federal, etc.
But the point I'm making is where you're supposed to be able to form a militia and have tanks and cannons and all sorts of shit to protect yourself from within and without. That's what a militia does. Well, the militia became the National Guard.
Yeah.
And the governor controls them. Instead of we the people control them, the governor controls them. But we technically control the governor. So I guess in some way we the people still do.
I wouldn't say they're as disciplined as the actual army.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
And some of them are ex-military who have come to the National Guard, and some of them are other things. But they're really for civilian problems to take care of stuff inside. They're like a backup army against our army for our land. And they have
Or when police departments become overwhelmed with rioters and that kind of thing.
Yeah. So I mean, they serve a purpose, or to help out with hurricanes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's really what their job is.
What's your opinion on the opinion that this election isn't just between Republican and Democrat, but it's between a supposed good and evil?
Well, who's good and who's evil in this election?
Yeah. Or are they both evil and we're just choosing the lesser of the two?
Well, yeah.
Because really and truly, I mean, Kamala is not.
Everyone's using that question themselves. If both of them are the only choices we have, neither of them are better than the other. You just have to choose which one you think is best for you. Do you want the one that's lying more, or the one that is a proven success in a previous presidential term? I'm going with success.
It just seems like two sides of the same coin to me.
It is and it isn't. It's the two sides of the same coin because of the politics involved, but it isn't because of the issues involved. Democrats are completely opposite of conservatives. Conservatives are completely opposite of Democrats. It wasn't always like that,
right?
But it is now. So our problem
is almost the point of combativeness. That's how brutal it's getting.
Yeah, but our thing is citizens. Most of us are moderates or in the middle. But we're not really being represented by that. We're being represented by, come on, Kamala is known as far left as you can go.
Very extreme left.
She is just, she made AOC look like she was a straight girl.
Yeah.
Does that have anything to do with the middle class disappearing, like being, more in the middle? Does that have anything to do?
Well, her and Trump, she's saying the middle class isn't disappearing; it's coming back.
They won't disappear, but they will eventually become the poor and the homeless and the indigent.
But that's what she's saying. It's not going away. It's just getting stronger and bigger. I'd have to see the stats to believe that.
Yeah.
Trump says it's increased by about 10%, but but when they talk about what middle class is depleting, is it lower, middle, or upper middle class? I mean, there's three different classes of middle class. So, I mean, it really depends where you are in the grand scheme of middle class.
Did you hear about Kamala being called, I don't remember his name, but I think he was like the governor of San Francisco at one point, or not the governor, the mayor in California. He had some high rank position either in San Francisco or like in the state. And he had an affair when he was 60 with Kamala when she was like 29.
You talking about Judge
So he's
Joe
like,
Brown when he got his escort and got in trouble with his wife because he got an escort hooker to be his lover?
Huh.
and anyway, she was referred to as his party girl, and he'd bring her to all these like soirees, and like if it wasn't for him, she wouldn't have never gotten into law or become a prosecutor or a district attorney or anything like that.
Sounds like she started out more as a prostituter.
I'm not touching prostitute.
That's just what it sounds like.
I hear that. I hear that. No speaking, no evil. So Judge Joe Brown is who you're talking about. I may have some clips. I'm going to go look right now.
Joe Brown has some videos out there. He's just vicious on her and how she was this way and that way.
He talks about what kind of hoe dog she is, using way worse language than I'm using.
Yeah.
He talks about, it's not just him either. Several of her boyfriends that came out and said they met her because, so she said she wasn't an escort. And everybody said we fact checked it and she's not an escort. But then 3 of her boyfriends came out and said, oh no, we met her when she was an escort. So wait, who's lying here? Well, why the boyfriend's lying? They ain't getting nothing for lying.
Where did she get a college degree? Like, where did she go to law school?
Canada,
Howard, I think.
No, I thought you went to Canada law school. Well, I don't know. Actually, let me back that
For
up.
college, she went to Howard University in Washington, D.C., a traditionally black college, Howard University.
It's
Hey Google, where did Kamala Harris go to college?
Kamala Harris attended the University of California, Hastings College of the Law, and Howard University.
Howard University. Thank you very much.
Kamala Harris attended the University of
Hey
California.
Google, shut up.
You gotta love Google when they do shit like that.
Yeah, you gotta wait for the lights to stop blinking, or it keeps listening.
But see, that's something Candace Owens, I think, is challenging because, she grew up. So she was born in California, and then she moved to Berkeley, and then she moved somewhere else, and then she moved to Ontario, and that's where she graduated from school from, was Ontario. So they were trying to figure out, well, why didn't she go to college at Ontario, since that's where she was living? And Candace says there's records that proves that she did go to college while she was up there. So now we got a dilemma. Where did she actually go to college? I think she went both places, to be honest, which is what I think.
No, Google said she went to 3. Let me see if I can get it without her speaking.
I think she went to both places now.
Maybe we'll get the dates too.
What is this?
So if I'm running for president of the United States and I had a that colorful where people were accusing me of being an escort and lying about my college or being a party girl, I would address those claims, right? I would say, all right, like, I know you guys think that you know me. I hear that there's these rumors or truths, whatever, and be upfront about it, whether or not she was an escort or not. Like, who cares? Be honest about it.
In today's world, that's the thing. Who does care? Nobody cares.
Right.
Nobody would give a good shit about it if she was an escort or not. I mean, not in today's society. Now, in the old days, it would have been scandal. But today would have been like, well, she's from California. What do you expect?
How more votes she'd get from the left, like, liberal side for like being a worker?
It might keep her from being president, though. It's people want their presidents. I don't know. It's if they're men rapists, it's okay, but if they're women, not so much. Not it's really a sexist kind of thing, to be honest with you.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
let's play this.
That is like the epitome of feminism. That's like how you own it as a woman, is to like come out as like this is
me to be
racist. Hold on a second.
It is fundamental.
No, we get ready to play Candace Owens. It was just kept clicking on while you were talking. That's all.
Oh, my bad.
No, it wasn't your bad. It just the system wanted to do it. It wasn't behaving. So this is Candace Owens. We're just going to listen to this. And what's the British guy's name?
Piers Morgan.
Pierce Morgan. Thank you.
Prime Minister.
Yeah. So we got Pierce Morgan and Candace Owens on here. I don't know who the two guys on the bottom are. Maybe we'll get a name. I'm not really seeing anything. I would love to see Candace interview Kamala. I know you would. She'd hurt Kamala. It's we don't want to do Okay, anyway, let's play this right quick. It's about 2 minutes.
Premise this sort of weird thing, which frankly is quite racist. There's another way to look at it. That you should judge according to your skin color and feel a duty, a compulsion to do so, seems to me to be racist.
It is fundamentally racist, and it's something that I think Black people are right to be upset about. And then there's also this. You are correct to say that there is nothing about Kamala Harris or Barack Obama, for being frank, that is Black. I covered this on my show yesterday, went through Barack Obama's history. There is something that is very cartoonish about them working to Blackify a politician before they run for office. And what I mean by that is, like, Barry Soetoro, first 8 years of his life grew up in Indonesia. Okay. Then he was with his white mother and his Indonesian stepfather. He then went to Hawaii, which had a population of just 5,000 Black people. 86% of them were in the military, and attended a school that is $31,000 per year. And it was all white people. He was raised by his white grandparents, the Dunhams. He's never lied about this, by the way. He then went off to college and had a white dorm mate, dated a white woman. There's nothing about Barack Obama's history that gives him, in my viewpoint, like the stepping ground to be talking to the brothers about the Black American experience. If you've ever even been to Hawaii, it doesn't even feel like America. Genuinely, it feels like we took this country from an Asian country, took this state from an Asian country. And so when you realize that, and you see how right before they run, suddenly the story changes. They drop a book and they work to Blackify themselves. Obama didn't know his father, his Kenyan father, growing up, and now all of a sudden he wants to lean into this stereotype. To me, it feels like they're both wearing blackface. I can't sort through all of Kamala's various accents. There's so many
two
of them.
guys, one shaking his head up and down, one saying his head no.
And she's speaking like a Latina, and then she's in front of a Jamaican crowd and she's dropping
Brick, if you can't see it, it's
deal with
Pierce
it.
Morgan's the only
It
white
is
person. There's
way
Black
too
people,
much
one white
Hollywood acting for me. Then she's got the
otherwise.
Black scent going, and girl, what are you talking about? She's in front of a white crowd. She's speaking like a California Valley girl. I don't trust it. Yeah, I just do not trust somebody that slips that quickly through so many personalities. There's nothing about her upbringing, extraordinarily wealthy. Just she was sworn in Congress as an Indian American. Her mother is Indian. She grew up with an Indian experience and was proud of that until she ran for office for president of the United States. And that is something that I am not comfortable with. I do not accept this narrative that she should be speaking about herself as a Black woman. It's not okay, and I fully reject it.
You tell him, Candace. Don't you put up no bullshit. She's a sister without putting up no bullshit. What's that, Jimmy? She's good. She's a good researcher. She's hardcore at what she does. I loved her the other day because she finally found out who Kamala's real grandmother was and busted. First she busted the woman in the book as the maid. She was nobody because the grandmother had died. The other one had died, and she found out who the grandmother was. What her real history is. She found out she was Irish. I know. Well, she was claiming her grandmother was Black. It was a complete and utter lie.
Yeah.
It was a complete lie. And why lie about that? That was just so fucking ignorant.
Especially something that can be so easily verified.
I know. I don't. It just goes to tell you she's kind of dumb.
Well, it's a compulsion.
No,
it's just because it seems a lot of politicians do that same thing. They consistently lie and they get caught at it, and they're just like, well, what do you want to do? I mean, you should go to jail for it.
The New York Times said they were going to do an editorial on it, but the guy doing the editorial said she was as dumb as a post. Why bother? It's she is really starting to come down. I mean, that's what I said. If this was in a longer election period, it would be miserable for her right now. Because Trump would still be held in the same pace he's held the entire election. Because you can see she gets frustrated, she gets mad too.
Listen to this. Here's the truth that I've found from just the last couple of commercials they've had, or rallies even. So Kamala Harris keeps saying Donald Trump, when he gets into office, he's going to declare himself dictator, and she's declares he said this. And I'm like, well, show me the video. She doesn't show any videos of him saying those words. Donald Trump says Kamala Harris is going to raise your taxes. And then he plays a clip of Kamala Harris saying taxes got to go up. So someone's full of shit and the other one is like shoveling it. So pick one, and I've already picked my shoveler.
Harris makes pitch to black churches after telling protesters praising Jesus is a bad thing.
I wonder how that went.
Oh, no, you're at the wrong rally, yeah. And then, oh, look at this one for Obama. Obama on the campaign trail as one particularly tough crowd, young black men. They're not putting up with his shit, man. It's well, you know, the Democrats keep trying to fudge their numbers a little bit on who's voting for them and who's not voting for them. But the problem for them is, see, and I'm so grateful that we live in the age of podcasters and other forms of information, because MSNBC and ABC and CBS could hide this, a good chunk of this, away from their viewers. One American News and Fox and Max and all of them would actually put it out there for the people who wanted to see it. But since there's all this social media, the people who watch NBC and ABC and CBS see this stuff crossing their social media and are like, wait, what? No. But you hear these people in their own words, and it makes it hard to deny that there is a movement away from.
On the same token, with the social media, you get people that are putting up wrong information, and people are falling for that and being like, oh, yeah, and then doing the wrong damn thing. So the good thing is that there is fast news. It gets to everybody quickly.
You can always have idiots.
But there's a lot of idiots out there that you know, they see the first clickbait they see when they search for something, and then boom, they're all over Facebook going, look who's winning, and then they look like an idiot when their guy doesn't win.
And they do. They look, you know. But somebody asked me that you don't ever get worried about who you pick's going to lose or win. I said, well, I just say this is who I'm going to voting for, and if they win, they win. If they don't, they don't. I mean, it's part of what we do. Somebody asked, we're doing this on air live. I said, it's part of what we do. It's
literally 50-50 chance, even though one of them's up by 38 points.
Yeah, I mean, you know. All right, what is this one? Let's see what this one is. More Democrats now voting for Trump. Here's why. Oh, wait, here we go.
Former Democrats all of a sudden voting for Trump. Elon Musk voted for Obama, voted for Biden, now voting for Trump. RFK Jr. comes from a dynasty of Democrats.
He does, too.
I myself voted against Trump twice. Now I'm voting for him. It comes down to tangible results, dysfunctional Democratic Party leadership, and seeing through media misinformation. Being president is a job, and it's really hard to argue that Biden-Harris did that job better than Trump did. Cost of living went up way more under Biden-Harris than it did under Trump. Under Biden-Harris, 2 major wars broke out, whereas Trump signed a peace treaty that finally got us out of Afghanistan, and he brokered another treaty in the Middle East that still holds into this day. Now let's talk about Democratic Party leadership, because this has nothing to do with Trump. It should have been a wake-up call to us all when we saw that Biden had dementia during the debate. Why wasn't he pressured to step down before the primary so that we, the people, could vote for a replacement rather than just getting handed Kamala? And why is he still sitting president? Either our country is being run by a guy with dementia, or he's not actually calling the shots, in which case, who is? In fact, Kamala should be president right now. There are plenty of things I dislike about Trump, and the media keeps on misrepresenting things he says, like calling white supremacists very fine people, which he didn't. In reality, he's an unpleasant necessity to correct the situation that Kamala Harris presided over.
Yes.
Go, go. But there's
former Democrats all of a sudden.
There are so many of these coming across my pages right now. People are just sending me link after link after link after link. I mean, I must have got 300 of them today. I actually thought about coming on. If Jeffrey wouldn't have been on, I might have come on an hour or two early. I tell you what, I'm canceling Wednesday's show and turning it into the Centralist. It's so if y'all want to join, y'all can join. It's but we're too close to the end of the election, and it's too much going on. So I want to keep everybody up to date.
No more UFO undercover?
Just for 1 week. That's it.
Oh, okay.
That's all it is, just for 1 week. It's and then I got to remind everybody, Tuesday night's broadcast will be canceled because we will all be here going, Yeah, no,
Yeah.
boo, yay, boo, oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit. It's oh no, people. When we do, we have a lot of fun doing it. Don't get me wrong. We enjoy uh, the Tuesday night broadcast. It's always a lot of fun. And we stay up late and we sign off with everybody. We give everybody our opinions. When we close out at midnight, we tell everybody this is what we believe and this is what we hope. And then you get up in the morning and hope we were right, just like every other broadcaster on the fucking planet. No, really, just like every other broadcaster on the planet. Because yes, we already seen the one where she breaks out the Jamaican accent. That shit was too much, by the way.
Oh my God, yeah, it was, and it wasn't a very good one either. You know, you would think having a Jamaican father with a legitimate Jamaican accent, you could fake it really good. No, not really.
No, not really. She kind of blew that one. What's that, Jimmy? Well, no, you vote for who you want. You know, it doesn't matter who we're talking about. I've talked a lot of shit about Trump over the years because there's a lot of shit to talk about Trump over the years. But you know, I don't like when people just make up lies. Like, you know, we went over to Russiagate. We told everybody Russiagate within 90 days of it being posted. We told everybody what it was, who did it, why it was a fake, and why we should check it out for just such thing. And it took them 3 years to prove what we said in 90 days. Actually, we were talking about within the first 3 nights because it was just too much. It was just too much bullshit. Well, you know, and sometimes you got to call bullshit for what it is, bullshit. Most popular show on this network, UFO Undercover. Second most popular is the Outer Realm with Michelle DeRocha. Yeah. We never list anybody else than that. It's not fair to the other shows to put competition against each other. It's just the way we do business. Let's see. This is, what is this? Is this an audio? Oh, wait. Let's see. This might be bad. Oh, no, it's 8 minutes. We can't play it. Never mind. This is about, they were comparing economies. Too many people have already said Trump's economy was better than Biden's. Get over it.
Yeah, and Obama has been saying that at rallies for Harris that it was his economy that he gifted to Trump is why it was so good. I think it's the other way around.
Yeah, it's such a load of crap. And it didn't happen right away. It took a year before it even started turning around as we turned gas around. Don't blame us. Blame yourself. Furious at Harris, Arab American, Michigan face hard choice, voting Trump. Ooh, that could swing Michigan in his favor. Oh, you missed it earlier, Liam, when we played the crazy Karen woman.
Oh God.
Oh man, she was
man.
nuts. She was nuts. She ran up to this woman's house, was beating on the door and shit.
Yeah, dropping F-bombs on her left and right. It was hilarious. All because she was voting for Trump.
And then this is another strange thing. Muslim Michigan Democrat removed from Harris event once explanation. This guy is a politician or was running for politics, and they asked him to leave.
Really?
Yeah. Visit to Atlanta.
That seems kind of racist.
Yeah, it's a little strange. We're not going into those
Maybe he's actually anti-Harris. That's why they didn't want her up there.
It might be. But maybe it's going to scare because that happened at some other rally. Some Muslim guy went up and went off and ran on her. Jimmy, we don't do those, man. He'll regret those words. Yeah, we don't care. Biden probably regrets being alive at this point.
So
okay.
weren't you supposed to give away something at the 100th vote for the song?
Oh yes, but I think we're gonna wait till next week.
Okay.
We are giving away. Oh, wait, no, we can't.
One is an audio vote.
Halloween is 31st, which is on Thursday. So, we're gonna give this away. So, everybody who wrote in, well, the person who won is getting this, but I had a couple people write in and ask if we had another copy. But we did have we had the book version of it. I know I have it, so I seem to get that. I had the book version of it. So if you want a book version of it, if you want a book
Look on
version
your
of
desk.
it,
You had it last week.
I know. Anyway, but if you want the book version of it, and you are the first person that writes into me and tells me who the president was in 2016, you can have it. First person, yes. I think it's right here, actually. What is this? Oh no, this is nothing. That's something. I know what's up here. Oh yeah, here you go. There it is. L. Ron Hubbard's beer. This one's already been taken. And, you know, people, we're going to have to start limiting things in the United States. For some reason, we get a lot of out-of-country winners. On stuff like the lightsabers, it's not bad. And on stuff that we're not shipping, somebody else is. The last time I shipped 3 books to Canada to one of the winners, it was $120 for 3 books. 3 books about those things.
Well, what about a couple of years ago? Did you have to send one to New Zealand?
Yeah, see, anything's outrageous. So this one here, now this is just a CD case. It'll probably only cost me about 20 or 30 bucks, but still. It is a bitch. And
Who are you shipping with?
so whoever's got the best rate. I gotta look rate.
UPS is usually the best one. You could probably ship
If,
that CD for about $7 or $8.
In the United States, I can ship it anywhere from $2 to $4.
Yeah.
Outside, but because it's got to go through customs, they charge you.
If it goes out of the country, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where it's going. It's going to not Ontario, Toronto.
Oh.
It's going to Toronto.
I've been to Toronto. It's a cool place.
You know, it's going to go up there to it'll be up there. I'll ship it in the morning. It should be there by Wednesday, and they can listen to it for Halloween. Ooh. Y'all lucky I've been playing Halloween music this year on the show, so y'all got lucky. That may change, but
we didn't even take a break and play any music. You know,
I know we did. It's too much to talk about. First person, yeah. Jesus, man, there's a bunch of y'all wrote in at first person tonight. Yeah, I rarely ever do first person.
When is the Jesus show?
Oh, that is, let's see. We got to get the date straight in my head, but we already said the date. I'm just going to go find it. Hold on. So it's going to be So we got the 5th is the election. So Friday we'll be talking about that. I think we said the 15th of November.
Okay.
We can do it the 15th or the 22nd. 15th. I don't know if we should leave the 15th open for yeah, we should be able to get all the politics
reactions.
No, I think we should be able to get it all out by the 8th, and then if we need to, we can always flip back. We can do that show on the 15th and flip back to the 22nd. So we're gonna be doing a show. The first hour will probably still be news, but the second 2 hours will be who was Jesus. I was gonna say who is Jesus, but we're not talking about the spiritual side. So even though there'll be tones. So if you've got any ideas or you know anything about Jesus, well, you can do biblical stories, but we're trying to bring him as a man. Well, he was a man for 30 or 40 years.
At least 33 or so years. Probably closer to 37.
Yeah, well, it depends who you believed in. I mean, yeah, some people said 32, some people said 35, some
Well,
37,
if his
40.
birth span, they say, is between 4 and 7 BCE, and he died in 33 AD, he's between 40 and 37 years old.
That's what I would think. Besides, he had to get married and stuff, but
If he
and
was
he did
going
a
to be a
lot. I
rabbi
mean, he
in
did a
the Jewish church, he would have back then had to been married.
yeah, he had to been married, and he did a lot of traveling. So, but what we're trying to show is just examples of people speaking of Jesus as a man from other places, like from the Roman Empire or from some of the other empires around there. We'll be discussing that. Yes, and what the relevance is. There was one particular emperor, I can't think of his name right off the hand, that actually had written to Jesus and asked him if he'd come cure him from whatever he had had. So it just shows his influence had grown immensely. We always talk about how fast things are on the internet and how fast things grow and stuff, but even back in the day, it was telepony, baby, or telemule. But it took a little longer to get somewhere, but once it got there, it was all over the place. And I imagine, like any gossip, the more the merrier. Because, limited villages and stuff like that wanted to hear weird shit. But we got to go. It's after 12. Wow.
Yep, we're about 8 minutes past almost.
Yeah. No, we're fixing to get out of here. I don't know. I mean, you can send it to me at icarcox.net, ICAR at cox.net, and I'll talk with the guys about it. Well, we can do any kind of shows we want on this show. News on the Flip Side is about a lot of things, but we'll always do a news segment just to keep our current listeners up on the news, and then we can do whatever we want after that. And if they want to stay and listen, they can. If they don't, they can. It's like any show, 60 Minutes or anything else out there. Well, not like 60 Minutes. We want to edit it.
It's got segments. Yeah.
Yeah. So
sometimes we'll go off on tangents and talk about food or movies.
Yeah, we might. Yeah, and we might do movies and stuff. You just never know what we're going to do. But that's up to y'all to listen, stay, or go. The first hour is just the news. We don't have anybody that does sports or weather. Actually, my son's really good at it, but he just won't do it. He's a good writer, but he won't get on air. He just don't want to be on the radio or TV. It's not who he is. He's like, yeah, no way, Dad.
He knows how brutal.
Actually, I want to get one of my grandsons on.
Take it on Joe. Joe's only 17 years old.
Yes. I want to get one of my grandsons. I think he's 26 or 27. He can talk circles around.
Oh, well, yeah, bring him in.
Yeah, so I don't know if he'd be suited for this kind of show, but we're gonna put him somewhere. Well, you got to really know your politics to be here.
Yeah, I got to watch the news kind of daily just to keep up.
And it's not just your politics. We cross a lot of topics that we weave in and out of the politics and world news we're talking about. Like you pay attention, sometimes we'll be talking about Israel, Iran, but we'll throw like a little history lesson in the middle in there when we're talking about particular events and stuff. What do you mean? No, we couldn't do a whole special on Benghazi. I guess we could find things like Benghazi and do a special. Benghazi sucked, and Hillary Clinton, was snoring her fucking ass off and we lost people. That's all you want to believe. But anyway, we're going to get, be sure to check out Jay. Jay, what did y'all do tonight?
We had the guy did the Darkman book on the Darkman archetype, which was pretty cool. Good episode. We talked about one of the Darkman archetypes is in a movie played by Liam Neeson, and guess what his name was? Darkman. It's one of his best movies. I don't know if you've ever seen it. You should go see it. It's a really good, campy kind of sci-fi.
Well, I like those kind of movies. So
it's comic booky. You'll like it. It's really good.
When are y'all doing Betty Boobs?
November 15th, I think.
Oh, okay, cool.
I have to look at my.
We'll be talking about boobs and Jesus.
Yeah. Can't beat that.
It's special help for us, man.
Let me see if he's got the schedule.
What do you mean, James? No, No, not the same show, no. I'm sorry, guys. No coffee tonight. That's I used to drink a cup of coffee when we're live. Rockabye
Yeah, so
baby.
Song of the Dark Man was the show tonight. Dispatch it. So let's see. Here we are. Betty Boop. Oh, he doesn't have it written down. That's the old schedule. Yeah, I think it's November 15th, and that's with Wham.
Aunt Joanna.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I don't know. I have to see what's going on with this button. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to get out of here. Yes. Actually, Michelle had sent me some stuff. Amelia had sent me some. We got a bunch of stuff. We I guess we're gonna have to like do some specials, just to catch up with all the stuff we got. We got a lot of conspiracy stuff too. Just so much stuff to catch up on. Just like we were scrolling those links that we were playing tonight, which we probably played 20 of, maybe even 25 of, but literally just 1,000 or more on that page. And a lot of them are really, really good. Yes, there's some of them are funny as hell. Some of them are make Kamala look like an idiot. I mean, it's just there's a lot of stuff. But anyway, we're gonna get Jay's got to get to bed. I got to get.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a pancake. Yes, I'm going to make a pancake. Yeah, kiss my ass. Whoever said that. I can eat a pancake if I want to. On that note, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to News on the Flip Side. You had Joe Montaldo with us, Jay McNichols, and Sean Kelly, and
Rhea was here.
Yeah, so you had the four with us tonight. Remember, on Tuesday night, if you want to volunteer, if you're brave enough, if you've got kahunas, and you want to, and if you want to come hang out with us, just get a couple of maps, get a couple of resources, and get ready for the show and have a ball. But anyway,
fireworks, I think.
Yeah, but anyway, on that note, I want to tell everyone good night. Thanks for tuning in to News on the Flip Side on United Public Radio. And until Tuesday, have some fun. Enjoy your life. Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. Wednesday, we will be back with the Essentialist. And then Friday, this show again. And then Tuesday, election night. So you'll get to see us every couple of days. Well, I want to keep up on these polls. I want to know what kind of bullshit's going on before election night, so we know what to expect. Anyway, good night, everyone, and thanks for tuning in, and we will see y'all on Wednesday. Happy trails, my friends. Happy trails. Stay happy trails. Dude, what's this pink stuff?